Hey! What in St. Peter? Oh, I know what's happening here. Can you hear any of that?
No.
All right. This is so weird. What's up, guys? It's Clint. Welcome back to another episode of Versus. I'm Clint Baker, your host, and I will be hanging out with the likes of CB3 and Dustin here. We're going to have a great show tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Dune, David Lynch's Dune, versus Denis Villeneuve's Dune, versus Beetlejuice, versus Tremors. Oh, I get it. It's the Sandworm episode. Bum, bum, bum. Before we get started, guys, I need you to like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell, tell your friends about us, and man, let's get Curtis in here. Curtis, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Clint?
Good. What a weird start for the night. That was interesting. Yeah. It was interesting. Yeah. Never a dull moment. I wonder. We got 4 watching. Yeah, we had a false start earlier here a few minutes ago. And there was nobody, and I go, man, there's nobody in here. What's going on? And I know there's not a ton of us in here, but I mean, nobody? Somebody's got to show up. And we figured out we were having some malfunction. So we restarted the chat. So anybody who's in here watching, we appreciate you for tuning in. Let's see what's going on here. CB3 says aloha. Clint Baker says, hey, gang. Cody Crossland, Tremors faux show. Absolutely. I'll put that up on the stage, up on the screen here. Yeah, man. Well, it's good to see you guys. And by you guys, I mean us and Cody. So how you doing? Curtis, you said a little while ago you got a booster, so you're feeling a little bit sluggish.
Yeah, I got my COVID booster today. So I think the side effects are starting to kick in. I'm a little wonky, but nothing terrible yet. Hopefully it stays that way. Because whenever I got my second shot, it was pretty rough for a couple days. But
gosh, did you have your Heineken booster yet?
Yeah, well, it's pretty much just an IV now. Okay. So.
They say that helps.
Getting the boosters anymore. Yeah,
they say that helps sometimes. So cool. Oh, that's funny, man. This was a fun versus to gear up for. What did you think? Did you watch all 4 movies this week, or was it like, hey, I've seen all these, I'm only going to watch this one?
The only one I didn't watch was Beetlejuice, because I watched that with the kids probably a week ago.
Cool.
Anyway, so but yeah, I rewatched all the other ones, and it was pretty fun going from something as stark and serious as Dune to the 2 wacky Sandworm movies like Beetlejuice and Tremors. So it was a good jump.
Dude, it was fun. Like they were all a good time. Where's Dustin at over here? I feel like Dustin should be in here somewhere. Here you go.
He's right there.
There he is, Dustin. Oh. We're what's funny is, you guys see Sting down there. Dustin, especially when he was younger, he looked just like Sting, which is hilarious. Mm-hmm. Dude, I had a great time. On all of them except for David Lynch's Dune was tough to watch. I saw that when I was a little kid, and now it was really hard to watch as a grown-up. I mean, rough. You know what I mean?
I very much agree. I saw it when I was a kid. There's a lot of people who have a soft spot for it and kind of really dig it. I think Dustin was saying that last week, but I don't want to, speak for him. But
you can speak for him.
But and my uncles were some of those people. My uncles were some big into sci-fi, and so they would watch it often. And there's certain scenes as a little kid you see, like the sandworms. You want to see that, and like the gross parts and stuff. But just yeah, man, it was rough going. Oh,
I was
I
I was
go
watching
ahead,
it
man.
before bed, dude. It was really, in fact, I fell asleep about probably 2/3 of the way through it. You know what I mean? And then I watched the new Dune, and
Mhm.
I was kind of annoyed that I was fighting to stay awake because I was like, I could have just watched the new Dune and not seen that one. I've seen it. I paid my dues. I saw it back in. I
Yeah,
think I saw it in the theater. I think I saw it in the theater. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's okay, Clint. You don't need to watch it again.
yeah.
And yeah, and I really liked the new Dune from Denis Villeneuve. What did you think?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the rewatching the Lynch one. About 10 minutes in, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, all right, I'll pick it up. And then, like, literally halfway to three-quarters of the movie, I was like, I don't know why these people, I don't know what's going on. But the Villeneuve movie, I mean, throughout the movie, I could follow the story. I knew what was going on. It was just really well done.
And
And that's the thing. I had to actually watch. I had to break it up into several viewings. I had to, watch about an hour, and then about 30 minutes here and 30. Like I couldn't just sit for the 2.5 or so hours. Um, but it's still, even with all those breaks, I knew exactly what was going on. I knew the characters, whereas the Lynch one, I did not.
it was like watching the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah,
It's
like
so
that because
long.
that's like take a vacation day for just to watch the Snyder Cut.
uh,
Uh,
yeah. I thought it was fantastic, dude. Like first off,
mhm,
you could, if you pretend, like, forget the cast, just the way it was filmed and the
mhm,
effects and everything, it was perfect. It was like beautiful, beautifully done. The cinematography was perfect. The effects were perfect. They weren't over the top. They weren't fake. This shit looked real. This movie looked
yeah.
real. And it's they like something about the way this thing was made. And I'll say that about Blade Runner too. 2049, like, it it was beautifully done. And I saw it the first time, and I thought it was kind of a slow movie. Then I watched the original Blade Runner, which is super slow, and then I went back and watched Blade Runner 2049, and then I thought it flowed perfectly. It flows a little, the
Mhm,
pacing's a little more comfortable than the original Blade Runner, but it still does justice to the original. This movie, it, it it's not slow. It might be slow for
mhm,
some people. I've heard some mixed reviews on this movie, and I think there's some youngsters who aren't familiar with Dune and they like shiny things and explosions and things that maybe thought. But I thought it gave you everything, and it didn't overdo it, and it
mhm.
didn't have any like campy like catchphrases or any shit like that. It was like real, like
Yeah,
Game of Thrones, as opposed to like a Marvel movie or a DC movie that always has some kind of like catchphrase, or "my man," or I could
yeah,
do this all day, or I've got a bad feeling about this. This was just like a real movie. This was really happening, and except just like
mhm,
Game of Thrones is, it's like a serious, epic scale thing that is just happening and just awesome and fun. And you're watching the main character develop, and by the end you're like, finally, dude, he's starting to get it. And then the movie ends, you're like, damn it, I want he's starting to come into his own. I want to see him kick some ass. Like, I want to it's just getting going, and then it's over. But that's just how it is. And I know, and it gave me that Lord of the Rings feeling. I was saying that the other day, you know what I mean? Like, oh
mhm.
crap, we gotta
Yeah.
wait for this.
Another 2 years, like at
Yeah.
least.
But that's just talking about the movie without the casting. The casting was perfect in this movie. Like, it was great. Like, it was everybody was good in this.
No, I agree. Like it was, I don't know. Like it was like you said before, it was beautiful for the eyes. Um, the story was great. Um, the casting I thought was really like Josh Brolin's just trying to prove to me that he's good in pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Like he was awesome, and he was probably my favorite character, I think. But Zendaya wasn't as in it as much as they made her seem, but
Yeah.
she'll be in the big character in the next one. Um, but yeah, it's interesting though that uh, when they, like you said, when they cut, he's just starting to get his powers or kind of figure stuff out. And the Lynch one went just balls out and gangbusters with it. They're riding earthworms at the end, and like he's got the power and just whooping all this ass. So again, I wonder if like Lynch was like, I got to fit all this into one movie. And Villeneuve was hoping for and probably definitely planning on a second one.
Yeah, part one at the
Right,
beginning, so it's not like he made it as a standalone. I mean, it was like, maybe we'll make another, but we'll make this where it can run on its, like that's what they did when they made the first Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't know if they were going to get a chance. That's why they picked that. That's where they started it, where they did. They're like, this is the one part of my epic saga that I think can hold its own, just in case we don't get another movie. We'll do this first, and of course, the rest is history. But with this, he knew
see,
it says part one at the beginning of this. He knew, and I think he gave us a taste. Like letting you see the spoiler, this is a spoiler, letting you see the sandworm at the end with the hooks in it. It was just enough to know, like, hey guys, hang in there, we're gonna see some sandworm riding here in a little bit. You know what I mean? What were we gonna say? You don't think what?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if it could make it as a standalone film. It's like, it's all the good things are still good about it, but like if something happened and they were like, no, we're not making a Dune 2, we decided to squash it, like, I'd probably never want to watch the movie again, because it would just piss me off each time. It, like, I mean, it has a conclusion, but it's not in any way like where it would be a satisfying conclusion if there's not, good continuation of the story. So yeah, I mean, they almost have to.
It's just like Lord of the Rings, you know what I mean? Lord of the Rings, they're like, they end it, and you're like, oh, damn it. Really? I was kind of upset. I was like, I had no idea that was going to happen. And I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Jeez. Yeah, I was upset. We gotta show, like, Sting is looking good in here in this.
Yeah.
It's
ladies' night. So,
let you guys know what's going on. All right. Well, yeah. Well, I thought
I'd like to play upon his fields of Holly.
Oh no. Well, I thought Timothée Chalamet was fantastic. Like you said, Zendaya wasn't in as much as people thought he was going to be. And on Twitter, there was a lot. I read some stuff where people are just like, "What the hell?" Like, people that you and I don't care about. I'm 40-something years old. I'm not worried about. I like her. I think she's great. But the youngsters that she's like a role model to, and that they love her. You know what I mean? The people that are like, oh, Zendaya and Tom Holland. The people that like she's a new blossoming star, superstar, A-lister right now, and all those people that love her, that are her Instagram followers, are like, what the hell? This is some bullshit. They're pissed. And she was only in the movie for 7 minutes. So,
yeah.
And it's a 2.5 hour long movie. So, that tells you right there.
And that's, I don't, and not in a mean way. Like, she's good in everything I've seen her, but I don't understand her megastardom necessarily. Like, she's good and all that stuff, but she's solid, super amazing. Yeah,
she's got good representation and has done a good job. She was in Spider-Man, which is a super huge movie, and then it's got all of the Revlon or L'Oreal, whatever. I'm sure endorsements and everything that puts her in a great publicist. She's in every magazine out there and all over Instagram and everywhere else. And even in like the tabloids where they're canoodling, with Tom Holland and her are officially an item and all that stuff. It's like she's doing the Kardashian Kanye thing, the Jenna. Yeah. The Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez thing. Like, she's an A-list person now, so it's like, so all her followers that are consuming that They want to know where the hell she's at. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, you gotta do some dog stuff.
Yeah.
Take care of that. You gonna go whip that dog? For those who don't know, I'm just kidding. He loves that little thing. He's got a puppy that's I think 7 weeks old. Who's awesome. Who he said he just bought $40 worth of chew toys, and it chews everything else besides the chew toys. I was just telling them. About how you bought $40 worth of chew toys, and that dog eats everything but the chew toys.
Yes, absolutely anything and everything he will chew on, except those damn chew toys. He wants nothing to do with it.
Oh, it's funny. It's hilarious.
But
I'm
sorry.
No worries, dude. I thought Rebecca Ferguson was fantastic too. She plays Timothy Chalamet's mother, Lady Jessica.
Okay, yeah, she was. I agree.
Yeah, I thought she was fantastic. She one of my favorite people in this movie. And what's funny is I've heard several people talk about this movie, and everyone says a different person. Somebody else will be like, "Dude, Oscar Isaac stole the show." I've heard people say that Jason Momoa stole every scene he was in. I heard other people say the same. You just said Josh Brolin. You know what I mean? Like it's like everyone in this show. Javier Bardem was awesome. Dave Bautista was awesome. Stellan.
Wait, who was Javier Bardem? Who was he?
Javier Bardem was Stigar. He was the main guy that was at that group up in the hills, up in the rocks and stuff towards the end. He was the one that was in charge. He's the one who was in charge who went over and spit earlier in the movie, and they kind of charged him a little bit, and they didn't realize it was a gesture of respect because you're actually giving your moisture. I thought that was cool. He's like, "What, he's spitting?" And they're just like, "No, that's a." He's like, "Whoa, that's a sign of respect." Because they're actually sacrificing their moisture to give you a gift. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Wow, I didn't realize it. He did a great job. I didn't even realize it was him.
Yeah, that was him. You know, the guy with the cattle punch from that one movie? I can't even remember.
No Country?
Yeah, No Country for Old Men? Is that what that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a fantastic actor. We had I can't even say his name. David Dachmaishian. He's the guy who played Polka Dot Man, and yeah, he was in. I mean, there's a whole bunch of great people. The doctor, Chang Chen, was Dr. Wellington. It just keeps going. Every single person in this was fantastic. Sharon Duncan Brewster. Who was Liette Kynes? She was the one that helped them out of when they were trapped and was like, "Hey, this is my planet. I'll find my own way." You know, like all of them, they were all good. So I really enjoyed it. The whole thing was good, and like I said, you know, it was a lot of world building and setting this thing up at the beginning and setting up the story, and then once it gets to the end of the film, it's like it's finally happening, and was kind of almost glad, like, okay, cool, we've gotten through all this other, I'll call it crap, even extremely entertaining crap. That sounds insulting. I'm just saying. I watched it the night before, the slow, boring version, in my humble opinion. I know there's a ton of people who love the David Lynch version, but I watched I was falling asleep because I was exhausted, but I'm like, I'm on a schedule because I have to watch these in time for the show Tuesday, so I have to watch it tonight because I'm not gonna have time to watch the new one, and so I'm like forcing myself to watch it, and then I finally fell asleep towards the end, and then when I watched the new one, I was pissed that I sat through the other one. I was like, I could have just watched this one. It's the same story, but it's better made. Denis Villeneuve is a fantastic director, and I just super loved it. So I got through the world building part, which I kind of already knew who it was. All I had to do was link the new characters to the old characters, and I could have imagined, if you got to once they destroyed everything, and they escape, you know, the mom and son escape. If you would have started me there, I would have been fine. If I could have somehow associated the new version with the old version of the character, I wouldn't have missed anything. You know what I mean? Like there was one point.
For sure.
There was one point in the beginning, like probably 20 minutes in, where I had to run to the restroom. And then I ran back, and I was like running down in the theater, and I ran back, and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't miss anything. He's about to give him the tooth, and then he gave him the tooth, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't miss anything. It was pretty hilarious, you know. But anyway, yeah, I super enjoyed it. Hey, we got 5 people in the chat. Guys, if you're hanging out in the chat and you're listening, do us a favor, comment and say hello. If you have any comments or anything about Dune, you want, we'll throw them up on the screen. And if you have any questions, we'll discuss it. You know, it'll be fun. That's what makes this show fun, is having your input and having us either agree or disagree with you, or starting fights between me and Curtis is always a good time too. Dustin should be getting here any moment now. What were you going to say, Curtis?
I have a question. Who is Sting's character in the new one? I couldn't figure that out. I think his name is Fate in the original one, or in the Lynch one. But I could not figure out who his.
It would have to be. Wouldn't it have to be the Polka Dot Man? Because it's him and Dave Bautista show up. They're the nephews.
I think it's Batista because he's the warrior one, and
he must be. Yeah, he must be. Because you got there's 2 guys, and it was Sting and the other guy, and then you had Dave Bautista and Polka Dot Man that were the 2 guys in that same scene. So it would have to be one of them. I'm gonna look it up, see if.
Yeah, I'm checking right now, because if they replace Sting with Batista, that's a big jump.
That's pretty awesome. That's an awesome jump. Let's see here. Sting in Dune. Looking this up.
He paid Fade. Fade. Where'd it go?
Fade Rutha.
But I don't see that. So maybe that character. See, I think Lynch put in more, maybe from the next chapter or something like that.
Yeah, maybe he just put in a different character.
So maybe that character's I
tell you coming. What, the giant guy flying creep gave me the creeps in both movies.
Yeah.
That gave me the creeps.
And I wonder, if anybody in the chat has read the books, actually, I wonder which one was truer. Because the Villeneuve one was better because they didn't have all the gross pustule stuff going on. Like that was cool, but like
that was super gross.
Yeah,
and he's like,
especially when the doctor guy's eating it, and he's like, "I love your sickness" and stuff like that. It's like, oh god.
I love serving you, my lord. I was like, I hate that, dude. What is wrong with people? I keep having stuff pop up on my timelines and stuff on Facebook or different things where it'll be somebody like about to pop a giant boil or remove a tapeworm, or there's always some disgusting thing, and that stuff is gross. Like, it's just disgusting. Why do people, and some people like watching that. I'm like, I don't want to see anybody lance a boil. It's disgusting.
Well, apparently, pimple popping is soothing for some people. So there's like YouTube channels where that's all it is, and people watch it just to like, I gotta relax. Let me watch some pimple popping. Like,
dude, what's the guy who was in Transformers who's like, do it?
Marky Mark?
No, the young guy. He was in Young Indiana Jones, and he was a cholo and recently in another movie.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. I had him liked on Facebook, and they that guy was constantly sharing those gross things where they like pop something and like bugs come out of somebody's face, or like he was that guy constantly, and I'm like, dude, I think he likes disturbing people. Like, it was just like every time he would pop up on my timeline or something, and I'm like, it was that I just had to unfriend Shia LaBeouf. I'm like, dude, I'll watch Gwyneth Paltrow's videos because Shia LaBeouf's gross. I'm serious. I don't
Well,
know what.
I love seeing that stuff in movies and like because like how'd they do that? But I don't want to see like I don't want to see the real thing. Like,
Mm-mm.
but
It's different
to
if
each
it's
their own, I guess.
an alien popping out of somebody's chest
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the end of Malignant. I mean, I can handle that. But spoiler alert. But like, but yeah, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what Shia's problem is. But I think he's a solid actor. I just think, man, he sure likes to disturb people. That's what a mess. Um, well, so you overall, what did you think of the movie? You enjoyed the movie? How would you grade it?
I mean, definitely, I would recommend. I would highly recommend it. Um, Again, like I gotta see. Maybe not even see. I know that the second one is planned, or actually greenlit.
Is it
It's good to
greenlit
go.
officially?
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, but it just popped up whenever I was looking up some stuff. It is greenlit. And so yeah, I gotta. It shouldn't matter, but like the second matters for this one about how I feel about it overall. But it's definitely um, an awesome movie. You need time to watch it. And it is like a movie that you kind of got to sit and watch. You can't.
Yeah.
You could have it on in the background as long as you can hear it and pay attention. Like, but the visuals are so spectacular. You just want to. It's a movie where you got to take the time and sit and watch it. But I thought it was great. The Lynch one, unless you're a fan, I probably would not rewatch it.
No, I'll
It's just,
never watch that movie again. Holy
uh,
smokes.
yeah. And on that one too, it was just so funny to me how, cause like the characters in the new one were like real, and they were um, kind of like modern monarchs, like and stuff like that. They seemed like it, but the Lynch one, it would just be like, well, let's talk like this for a while, and blah 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 blah, and now let's fight. Yeah, like that was like what the hell's going on? Like, oh, let's talk some more like this. Da, 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 da. Oh, let's fight again. Rah!
It
I
was
don't know.
it was weird. It was like some of those old movies, old sci-fi, like I don't know, old Star Trek, but even those were like better, more entertaining than this movie. Like, but
I
they
agree.
all have a kind of a cheesy look. I mean, it's old school,
Yeah.
man. It's old school practical effects, and they're doing the best they can with what they could do back then.
Well, and even though the effects were decent, I think, for the time, and some even still hold up. But yeah, just the I guess it was the pacing. Like it'd be like serious, 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 serious. Aha, fight me! Like, I don't know. And then they'd cut back, and and then like that's the thing. The sandworm thing was always cool, but then at the end, it's like, okay, we're riding sandworms now. All right, let's do this. Like that. All right.
Well, this this new one was just like epic and majestic. It was just like beautiful and perfectly paced, and I didn't see any problem with it. I thought it was good. I did like the was it the Jesuit? What do they call those witches? The
Truth sayers, but I don't know if that was like the actual word, but that's what they
yeah,
call them. Like truth
I
sayers.
I did like the one in the David Lynch movie a lot.
Hmm.
I did like
Yeah.
her. I did like that aspect of it in the David Lynch movie. Also in the new one, but I really appreciated that part of it in the original. But
And
other than
I would say that scene is actually better than the Lynch one because
I
the way she's talking, she's like, it's an itch and now it's a burning.
yeah,
Like that worked really well.
yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. And I hadn't even considered that until now. It just kind of popped in. I was thinking about the movie earlier. That never even popped into my
Yeah,
head
no.
until now. But I did like. I think you're right, man. I think I'll say I liked that aspect of the movie better. The mom, her past relationship. It worked in the new one, but I did like
Mhm.
that. But other than that, I like the new one.
Yeah, I
Definitely
agree.
definitely loved Jason Momoa's character. He was good.
Hmm. And I mean, he kind of played the same kind of character he always does, but he does that character well. And I mean, he was damn good in this, doing it. I mean, uh, yeah, I kind of wish that's part of the story. He dies off, but would have been nice to see more of him as well. But
Yeah, maybe get maybe 2 more minutes of screen time. Maybe
yeah,
cut like 3 minutes of Zendaya's time, and then put 3 more minutes of Jason. I'm just kidding.
Now you're just asking for riots. Now you're just
Yeah. We just got a strike on our YouTube channel. That's weird. No, I'm just kidding. What? Yeah, I agree, and I think it was good. So
and
I'm
what
Go
what's
ahead.
great too, if it ends up being successful, which I mean, I think it's already successful. But how successful? Besides the fact that they could make a obviously the sequel for these characters that we didn't get enough of, they can do side stories on them. They could give Momoa a whole prequel story or something like that potentially, or um, and go down the rabbit hole with his character or any of these other characters that people really liked and didn't get enough of in this movie.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I'd like them to give us a whole bunch more of this, because I really enjoy the universe, and it's like we've had a whole bunch of Marvel universe, we've had a whole bunch of Star Wars universe, and it's like everybody wants another Star Wars, but then like they'll complain about it if it like. They're just doing the same old thing. If they don't do the same old thing, then people complain about it. If they do something different, they complain about it. If they do the same, they complain about it. So it's like everybody's got an expectation. And
Right.
and you've got like Game of Thrones does a whole bunch of seasons, and then like the end, the last season, everybody complains about it. Now, granted, I know they ran out of source material, and they just said, okay, let's just give them a bunch of action, and didn't really pay attention to the source material. Because there was none, so they just kind
Yeah.
of bullshitted their way through it. We'll just give them a bunch of dragons and explosions; it'll be great. And everybody complained, and you've got DC where everybody's like, oh, they don't have any continuity. It's like all over the place, and this and that, and everybody wants to complain about that. Well, this is like a thing that's not oversaturated yet. Like, it hasn't like worn itself
Right.
out. So it's like this story they're telling. Well, finally, is like the same story that we already got in the past. The TV show they had didn't do that great. And so it's like, you're right, dude. They could hit it out of the park with the next one. Now it's like Luke is just starting to learn how to become a Jedi. So now in the next episode, Timothy Chalamet could really kick some ass and be awesome. And then after that, they could just go nuts with it, and we're not burnt out on this franchise yet. So I think it's great.
For sure.
I've heard people saying that, like, saying, dude, this is my favorite sci-fi franchise of all time. Like, this is my favorite. It just like they liked it that much that it blew Star Wars and everything else out of the water. So I mean, if there's people saying that, that's pretty cool.
Well, and that's like I do hope we get more like from the universe of it and stuff, because I've heard people say that about the books and stuff, and I've tried to read the books now. To be honest, I started a book that was like in the middle of the series apparently when I was younger, and I had no clue what was going on.
Hey,
And
hey, I don't mean to
go ahead.
interrupt you, but we got Bobby is in the house, and she's late to the chat. So, and she asked, what the hell are we talking about? So I'm going to give her a quick recap for anybody who's joining us late. We started out the show with some technical difficulties. For some reason, our Facebook wasn't working. We had 0 people in the chat, and it was just a weird thing. So we just killed the stream. That was a burp. And then we completely refired it up. Everything seemed to work, and here we are, and we've been talking. The show today, for those who don't know, is Dune versus Dune, or as Edward from Small Screen would say, June with a DY, Dune, and then Beetlejuice versus Tremors. It's really it's the Sandworm episode. All these movies have sandworms. We might even talk Mandalorian. So that's what we're talking about. We were talking about. We watched the David Lynch Dune, which is difficult to watch for me, and then we saw the new Dune, which I completely loved, and the stories were the same. It's just the new Dune is modern cinematography, modern effects that look great, and it was just smoothly made and well told. It was just really good storytelling, and it just felt very real. The David Lynch era, there was old style acting, blah blah blah. That almost sounded like Picard. That wasn't supposed to come out like that, but
But he was in it. So.
yeah, and so yeah, so it's like it was that's pretty funny. Yeah, but it was like old style, almost Shakespearean style acting almost, and then it would be quick fight scenes, and then it'd go crazy, and then and where this new one, it just felt real, like you're watching a real thing. The same way that Game of Thrones feels real. It's not campy. There's no corny taglines or anything like that. It's just really happening, and it makes you imagine what a epic sci-fi majestic film should be like, what it would be like to be in space in this thing. You could imagine yourself there because they made it very real. I really, really enjoyed it. The casting was awesome. Everybody was awesome. Everyone in it was awesome. They zero complaints, and that's what we were talking. And we were saying Jason Momoa, he was great, and we could have stood to have maybe 3 more minutes of him. And then I jokingly said we could cut like a few minutes out of Zendaya. She was in the film, way too much, which is a joke because I really like her, and it's hilarious that she's only in the movie 7 minutes, and everybody was expecting her to be in the movie half the time. So, yes, we didn't see people. We didn't get to see any of the main characters. Riding sandworms or anything, but you did get some. You did see some people with some spikes, and you did see somebody riding a sandworm at the end, so that's where they're going. It cut off like a Lord of the Rings movie, just out of nowhere, and you're like, "Damn it, it's over!" But you did get to see Paul Atreides start to come into his own and start to figure stuff out, and it built up for the whole movie, and it started delivering, and it's just when the world building had taken us all to this cool place where you're really starting to see it come together. The movie ended, and it's time, and now we have to wait. And that's okay though, because when it comes back, we're already there. It just took us.
Yeah.
It took us up the diving board, and now we just got to wait to jump off the diving board.
And I will say too, was it 2.5 or 2 hour and 45-minute movie? And it did not feel like it. I mean, I know some people said it was slow, and that but it didn't feel like it. And I really didn't want it to end. Like I was like, oh man, I hope it's not. It can't be. It's got to. Looking at the clock, it's got to be getting close to the end. But I was like, I really don't want it to. And I'll tell you right now, and I've told Clint before, I really had low expectations for this movie. I was because of the first one, honestly, and I was like, this is gonna be a slow, boring slog. And I had very low expectations, and it surpassed them by miles.
Yeah. He's saying, hey, dude, I'm ready for some Tremors talk. I am too, but I want to wait for Dustin to get here and get his take before we start talking about Natchet Taylor. Did you know he was in that movie?
Well,
every time I saw Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, it's Natchet.
He's the cloned offspring between Brad Pitt and Kevin Bacon. That's Natchet right there.
Yeah. All right. Anybody in the chat? Bobby, what did you think of the movie? Did you see them both? Did you see both Dunes? Or have you already seen the original Dune? Did you just watch the original Dune so that you could see the new Dune? I saw the old Dune in the theater way back in the day. Hey.
I got Suzanne. She says
Sue says Dustin's on his way. I figured he's on his way. Sue, did you see the new Dune? And Bobby, what did you think of it? And Cody, what did you think of it?
If you haven't, go check it out in theaters, or it is streaming on HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO Max. And I will. You said it got greenlit. I hope it was greenlit on. I hope that news is like a legit source and not just like a. Well,
let me see. Where it just popped up. I can tell you.
Not Mike Zero or something.
Well, yeah.
Because like I was leaving my TV on playing that show. I was like, I want the ratings to look like this. I like encourage everyone to play Dune on their TV in the background. You're cleaning your house or Going for a jog? Just leave the TV on Dune. I want the ratings to show that this movie's streamed more than anything.
Yeah, it's from Deadline. It says Dune sequel greenlighted by Legendary and Warner Brothers. Pick will get a theatrical window in October 2023.
Cool. You said Deadline?
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadline is one of the legits, so that is great news. Well, good. Good. I can hold on. Let me go to the other room. Turn Dune off. I have it playing. I'm just kidding.
All right.
Let's see here. Cody says. Cody Crossland says, Game of Thrones. He was good. I don't know what that means. Greatest of all time. He was good. Are you calling? Are you saying Jason Momoa?
Maybe
is
he's
the
talking
greatest?
about. Yeah. I think he's talking about Momoa in Game of Thrones.
Jason Momoa was the greatest of all time. All right. Not a Momoa fan, honestly. All right.
Yeah,
and
like I
then,
said, he kind of plays the same character, but he plays it well.
yeah. No, I haven't seen the new one. I didn't make it all the way through the first one. Yeah, the first one was kind of tough. It's tough to watch, dude. It's like it's tough. And I'll watch anything, but I was like, Clint likes everything. But yeah, it was tough.
And then David, you were like, Clint likes everything. And David Lynch was like, I'm gonna break this guy.
Yeah. Hold my beer.
Tear you down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, hold my beer. Yeah. Are you excited to see Oscar Isaac in Moon Knight?
Who's Oscar Isaac?
Oscar
I haven't heard
Isaac
about
was
that.
Leto Atreides. Was Paul Atreides' dad? The main.
That's
The one who
Poe
gets
Dameron or
the
whatever?
one who gets the tooth.
Yeah.
Who's naked in the.
I can see. Yeah, I can see
he's
that
gonna
working.
be he's gonna be Moon Knight. I don't know if you knew that.
I could see. No, I didn't know that. I could see that working really well.
Yeah, he's also in.
Yeah.
Were you laughing?
Cody says the wife loves Momoa, of course. Like,
All
yeah.
the wives love
Yeah.
Momoa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not famous because of us. He's the
Yeah, I
wives
was
see him in a movie and they're like, don't you like action movies? Let's go watch this action movie. Let's check it out.
Next. Yeah, next time I start dating somebody, I'm gonna shave a scar into my eyebrow just to make me more Momoa-esque.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do some pull-ups, but why do that? You know. I think I just gotta. Oh yeah, facepalm. Oh no. That's funny. All right. Wow.
No, I think that's a good choice for Moon Knight. I don't know.
Were you much of a Moon Knight fan? Some people.
Yeah, I really was. And there's different iterations, and I've read most of them. And he's always been, he's like Marvel's Batman. He's always been one of my favorite characters. Well, I don't know about, overall favorites, but I've always really liked him. And I couldn't understand why his comic never made it. Besides like a couple year run, and then he'd always come back, and then they'd run him again for a couple years, and he never held a solid fan base. I could see him working really well in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, though, and I could see him being a good choice.
He's like a deep cut favorite.
Yeah, I agree, and because he was always he had like dark kind of stories, Batman-esque stories, but they're always at the same time supernatural and stuff too, because his origin is like supernatural. So yeah,
Khonshu. Hey, what's
so
up, dude?
there'd always be that aspect which made him extra. It was something new and different.
What?
Aloha.
Check out Sting. In case anybody ever thought I actually looked like Sting, think again. Yeah, I do have some undies like that, though.
Hold on just a second.
Yeah, it looks more like Mike Baker.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, keep him in there.
Oh, he's standing.
I wonder if he's like tantric already.
Dude, as soon as you got here, all the viewers popped in.
That looks a lot like Gandhi, though. Remember Gandhi?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
It was me on the. That's what Justin from Zebrahead called me.
Gandhi.
Gandhi, because I was like always like I was thin, and I was like always like, not eating very much. He's like, "What are you eating?" Oh, Gandhi.
Gandhi.
Big D. They call me Big D, and then he was like, Gandhi. All right, what have you guys been talking about?
We've been talking about Dune. Have you seen the new one?
June.
Have you seen June?
I've seen June.
It's
I know.
It's kind of a DG. It's like
yeah, but how the Canadians say it? Dune.
Dune. I don't know.
Brune. Does it rhyme with Brune? Brune hoose? There's a Brune moose in the house.
All right, you just got us canceled in Canada.
Or I got us signed on in Canada. I'm like Jerry Lewis is in France and Canada. They love me.
Well, we've been talking for 50 minutes about the Dunes, so everybody knows what we think. But what do you think?
I think that the new Dune makes the old Dune look like Oliver. Like Oliver was like, looks like a a filmed version of a theatrical performance.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely does.
I could see that for sure.
I went into this thinking like, 1984 Dune's the shit. F new stuff. They can't beat that. And then I was like, oh, bummer. Like I look back at the Harkonnen scenes where he's like floating around like, we'll take over the world. No one can stop us. The boils on his face and stuff. And then Skarsgård all looking like, I mean, the only person that could possibly do better than that performance that he did was Vincent D'Onofrio. He's the only other guy.
Right, yeah.
He's the only other guy that could be as creepy, but maybe not even as. I mean, maybe it takes a Scandinavian dipped in oil to really get that across.
That's what most things take, but
yeah, I mean, look at this like Harkonnen here with the wing undies. Not scary.
Yeah, I was saying, I really think they did like a fantastic job of making it like real. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. There was no taglines or any like formulaic kind of dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was like real, the same way that like Game of Thrones is like real. You know what I mean?
I think they've got a new Lord of the Rings on their hands.
I totally do.
It's crazy. Like if somebody doesn't pick this up and run with it, they're fucking up.
Well, Curtis just read a few minutes ago that Deadline, who is one of the big three that are legit sources, they just announced that it got picked up for part 2. So it's greenlit.
Nice.
It is greenlit. So
all right.
So everybody's worried.
Curtis just broke that.
Yeah.
How you like that? Versus breaking news.
Yeah. So everybody who's butthurt that they didn't see enough Zendaya, just wait till 2023.
Can you believe how much whiners people are? She's only on screen for like, what do they say, like 7 minutes?
7 minutes.
She fucking steals the show, and everybody's like, "Yeah, Zendaya." Oh, I'm sorry. You got a 7-minute fucking guitar solo called Zendaya. Right in the middle of a badass rock song. You got to cry about it. Does anybody say like, oh my God, the guitar solo in November Rain's just quite not long enough?
It's just 7 minutes long.
It's just 7 minutes of pure shredding. Yeah, she kicked ass. There was like all killer, no filler with Zendaya. Opposite of Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was well said, Dustin. You could have said that better.
Thanks, man. I feel like I'm on fire.
You are.
Fucking got Sting down there. I look like a fucking Sting on statins. I'm all fat now.
On what?
On statins.
What are statins?
Statins is a type of blood pressure medicine that makes you gain a little weight.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to center.
Sorry, man. Did I?
No, I was just trying to center your name, dude.
Oh, thanks.
With such a good call on the Zendaya with the guitar solo, such a good analogy that I thought I needed to make your name a little bit bigger.
Yeah, And I mean, I don't want to shit on the Lynch version. Sorry if I'm dropping. If there's like
I just
all
said fuck.
If there's like 12 of the people watching are like, school age, and they're like, "Oh my god, my head just exploded from obscenities." But everything was better, and I love. Except they didn't say like, "Father, the sleeper has awakened," and I feel like that's my, I say that and then I give the same O face. That's how I roll.
What are the witches? The Jesuit?
Benny Jesuit.
Benny Jesuit witches. I thought the scene with the mother coming in and the hand in the box, I was like, the only thing I liked better from the David Lynch was that part of that part where she comes in and they're like, we're gonna test him and you need to go do this and that whole test part. I think I liked it better in the David Lynch. And that was weird because I like. After watching the new one being so clean and so well made, and the other one being such of what felt like a waste of time, after I saw, because I was telling Curtis I was fighting to stay awake, but I was like, dude, I don't have time to watch both of these and Beetlejuice and Tremors by Tuesday. I have to just watch this. What's wrong with you, Clint? You stay up all night every night. Just watch this fucking movie. And then about 2 hours in, I fell asleep. But and so when I went and saw the other one in the theater, I was like, why did I even watch the other one? I saw it 100 years ago, but why did I even waste my time? And then, because it was the same movie. It's just done super well and like painful to watch. And so,
there's a few precious few things in the first version.
But that test with the box, that part would definitely.
I'll tell
like
you
that
another
better.
one. Patrick Stewart running out into battle holding a pug dog. That's pretty. That's pretty pimp.
Dude, I'm gonna say Patrick Stewart doing anything.
They should have kept him as the character and just had the pug dog. Everything else is like,
they should
newly cast.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how I feel about Max von what's his name being recast as like the female. It worked for the storytelling, but
they should have put Patrick Stewart's head, CGI'd his head onto
a sandworm,
onto Josh Brolin's body. Have Josh Brolin running around with Patrick Stewart's head on there.
Jason Momoa, all like tatted up.
That was a different character though. That was Duncan.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. Sorry. Oh, by the way, Duncan way better. Duncan in the first one. Hello, blah blah blah. I'm your bip 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 dead. Like almost like immediately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the definition of a throwaway character. He like died quicker than Arya's sword trainer on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Not to die today.
What does the god of death, or what do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
Not today.
Yeah, hold my beer. That's if I wrote that. That's what I would have fucking said. That's the shallow into the gene pool writing right there. What do you say to the god of death? Hold my beer. Like,
yeah. So I said that, dude, fucking Polka Dot Man was good. He was barely in there, but Josh Brolin was great. Javier Bardem was badass. Dave Bautista was badass. I mean, the bald, pale, scary. That's way. I heard somebody describe the Harkonnens as they went with bald and pale instead of soulless gingers. It's the Harkonnens. I was like, oh damn! I didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about that. All these guys, the Doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole cast was good, and I super loved Lady Jessica, who is Rebecca Ferguson. I really liked her in the new one.
Yeah. Way more screen time in the new one too.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, what did you guys think in the comments? Anybody got anything to add? Because now that Dustin's here, we got his take. We're gonna go and jump into to Tremors. We talked about David Lynch's Dune. Yes, and we talked about Denis Villeneuve's Dune. And now we're going to get into Tremors, and I don't know why Sting's name is on all of these screens. So we're gonna get this out of here. But before we go, last call on the other two Dunes.
I heard just read an article that Jason Momoa put a little wink to his son in there. There's a Filipino edge weapon fighting art called Kali, and they do the head and the heart like thing, like it's like a salute. Like some of his moves were like Kali moves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was to his son. It was like a wink
pretty
to
cool.
his son. Yeah, super cool. I like that they made him way more friends. That was a badass.
Mm-hmm.
They're much more concerned with character development and not like, voiceover work. I was surprised to be reminded how much like exposition was just like talked over. I'm like, this is the laziest shit ever. Because I saw it like, as a kid,
Yeah.
You just like hear the disembodied voice and you're like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. But after you've seen a couple movies, you're like, this is lazy as fuck. And this movie's still 2 hours, 58 minutes long.
It's funny too, because I mean, it's weird because that movie's 40 years old. You know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, it stands up better than Krull. You know what I mean? Which is what the new Dune makes it look like Krull or Flash Gordon.
Yeah, Flash Gordon.
I'm gonna stand around having y'all naysay Krull and Flash Gordon.
Hold on.
What the fuck is going on here?
I love Krull. It's stuck in the eye.
I tell you what, if they were gonna have somebody redo
Krull.
No, I wasn't gonna talk about. I was gonna say Flash Gordon.
Don't redo Flash Gordon.
No, I agree. But if you're gonna do it, but do it serious, I'd say get Denis Villeneuve. If you're gonna do it and make it fun, I would say get Taika Waititi.
Ooh,
because he would make it fun. If
if
it's fun like Thor,
yeah.
Ragnarok was fun. You know what I mean?
I
like
could see that working
I could
really
see Taika
well,
Waititi doing a kick-ass Flash
Fuck
Gordon.
you're right.
I
dude.
know. Also, if you're gonna
100%.
if you're gonna get somebody to do Big Trouble in Little China, Taika Waititi.
all right,
That's the only one. Like that's the only one I could think of. But if you're gonna have somebody redo Conan, like or Mad Max, fucking Thunderdome again, then bring on Denis Villeneuve, because it's such a. It's what's like cool about this is it's just like it reminds me of those old 80s epic sci-fi movies, the way they're just like there's no bullshit, they're just telling a story, but except now that we're older, when you go back and listen to them, those look really primitive because of modern filmmaking abilities, you know what I mean? But he's still got the spirit of just the genuine filmmaking, like where without some like Cobra with a match, doing a tagline, doing some kind of, without
the disease, I'm the cure.
Yeah, go ahead and make my day. I could do this all day. I've got a bad feeling about this. All those things.
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, all there's no bull.
Your luggage.
Which is all the things that we love about movie that makes movies fun. But when you got like epic sci-fi, it just has to be pure and like make it as real as possible. That's what you need. You need to make us believe that we're there. And Denis Villeneuve does it.
And got to have a badass soundtrack. Can I say I haven't had a soundtrack boner like this since Conan? Like Conan really does it for me. And this soundtrack, this like sound design with the dum 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 dum, all the toms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got like that atmospheric music, but then it's got like, Al Jurgensen from Ministry like playing toms like behind,
the last thing that got me fired up besides hearing Beetlejuice.
Zendaya was only in it for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Hearing the Beetlejuice Danny Elfman soundtrack through my sound bar. Ding, dun, 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 dun. I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. I forgot how I had so much fun watching Beetlejuice, but we're gonna get that in a minute.
Yeah.
But the same thing you're just saying, the Wonder Woman theme song they made.
Oh, God.
Yeah, yes. when I heard
Yeah.
that, it reminds me of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, totally,
but,
dude.
But I would, that blew me away. And
John Bonham playing in Valhalla.
anytime she pops on the screen and that comes on, like it's ass kicking time.
Yeah.
Here's Wonder Woman. I'm super stoked. I get super excited. All right, breathe.
Anyhow,
you guys want to talk about Tremors?
do I?
Do I? Would I?
All day, every day.
Would I?
I mean, Kevin Bacon hadn't put in work like this since Silver Streak, the
yeah.
movie about 10-speed bike racing that he did prior to this.
Can you believe there's a freaking Tremors 5?
Yeah,
There's a Tremors 7.
yeah, I can. Because you can keep having worms pop up. It's hard to keep making a leprechaun fresh. But worms we can do.
No way. There's leprechaun.
Worms.
I can't wait to see. What are they called again?
Lep in space.
Graboids.
What are they?
Graboids.
Graboids. Yeah, I want to see Leprechaun versus Graboid.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right.
Graboid sounds like some kind of Me Too situation.
Yeah.
By the way,
there's a lot.
it'd probably be called something else if that was written today.
Freaking Beetlejuice was a Graboid. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much he was until watching it again today.
Yeah,
But
he was a drapist.
We're talking about Tremors, and let's get into
He was
it.
a drapist.
Yeah, what do we got in the chat? After two, the franchise should have been done. I almost said,
Cody, I feel like you're a purist. Am I talking to a purist here?
Cody,
You probably have a an opinion about Green Day records too, huh, Cody?
Are you not? You don't like Aftershocks? You don't like Back to Perfection? You don't like? Come on, Cold Day in Hell? You don't like Shrieker Island?
Yeah.
Mutated Graboids? Come on.
And what's amazing is, except for, well, maybe I don't know about the seventh one. I haven't seen it. That's Shrieker Island. They've all got Bert in them. Michael Grossman, or not Michael Gross.
Michael Gross,
Bert
yeah.
from Tremors.
Sweet.
He is in he's the main character in all of them after that.
Isn't he the dad on Growing Pains? Or Growing Pains? One of those shows?
No, not Growing Pains. Family, no.
Hold on, I'm looking
he's the
it up.
dad
I have
on,
to know.
Is there a grab NATO? Can I get a grab NATO with the Graboids?
Dude.
Grab NATO. What the hell
they
is
should start.
Yeah, what is Ian what's his name? Ian
Family
Ian.
Ties, that's what it was.
Family Ties,
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
right.
he was Michael J. Fox.
Show me the smile again.
Show me that smile.
Don't
Give me
let your
some
mind
love,
blaming all your
troubles.
troubles. We're near the end.
Oh,
The
Cody
best is
Crossland.
ready to begin. As long as we got each other, we got the world spinning round in our hands, baby. Rain or shine all the time.
Stop!
The luckiest people that know they've been dreaming. Sha-na-na-na-na.
All right. So how you guys doing tonight?
Let's get it on. Let's get it
Cody
on.
Crossland says, I think Remo Williams is in that in the movie too.
Oh,
He's
shit.
Kevin Bacon's buddy.
Remember that time I
and-
couldn't
Yeah,
remember?
Fred Ward is
Remember
his
that
name.
time I couldn't remember Remo Williams?
Yeah, Fred Ward. You
But
don't know
nobody
Fred
could,
Ward's
'cause
name? Dude, Reba McEntire was in it.
Yeah, Reba.
Hell yeah.
Talk
But
about a soulless ginger.
Cody remembered that Remo Williams was the dad in Joe Dirt. That's what
Yeah,
happened later
dude.
on.
Cody, yes. Now you're
I
my
forgot
fave.
about that.
Now you're my favorite.
Tremors was classic, says Cody. Family Ties.
It really was.
Joe Dirt. Family Ties. Thank y'all for helping us out with that. Holy smokes. Yeah, man. I was at the.
So,
at the-
Clint,
go ahead.
this was your first time watching, is that correct?
Yes.
Or no? Yes.
First time.
Okay. Go ahead. You're the newbie.
First, I was like, wow.
Is it gonna hurt?
I was like, what's going on here? And then I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, I like the accent, Kevin Bacon. And then Kevin Bacon started smoking a cigarette, and they started smoking cigarettes, which I thought it like blows me away to see that in movies, you know? Like that was the first thing. All right, let's do this. And but at that time I was like, yeah, that was anyway. Like, and I don't know, it was tough, dude. It was like Dumb and Dumber. You know what I mean? Like these two guys palling around, and I noticed in the beginning he was hammering in a nail to fasten down some barbed wire, and he missed it like.
And it was whooping his ass, boy.
Yeah, he missed it like 8 times, and then he finally hit it in one shot. But it was like, yeah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm surprised he didn't reshoot that part. But he was like talking and aiming for it. He was like missing it every time. And then like, yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, I was texting with a friend, and I was like, yeah, dude, this is who was I talking? I think James messaged me, and I was like, dude, this is fucking hard to watch. It's just really bad. And then it got
hell you say.
And then it got really good.
Yeah.
Like it was like I was like, okay. I was like, this is like a homework assignment. I'm gonna follow through. Also thought it was hilarious because Kevin Bacon reminded me of my buddy Natchet, who plays in Nowhere Bound with me. And
he kind of did this a lot with his hair too.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, dude, it's Natchet." But yeah, it was fun. And then once it got going, like the setup was hard to watch because it was a campy movie. But once it got going, then it got really good. And I loved the kills. I loved it sucking the truck in, and like holding the truck back and then sucking the station wagon into the ground. And then I also love that, you know, they didn't get off so easily as to figure out how to trick these things that they were constantly learning. So the odds changed all the time. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, we know how to do this. Oh, cool. You're going to stand on the house. Okay. We're going to knock down the house. Oh, we know how to do this. Hey, because I'm thinking now, maybe if they throw some rocks over there and then run that way, or set off an explosion over there and run that way. I was constantly thinking, but then they kept learning. And so I had a great time. I loved it. I loved the gun nuts being in there and shooting. And then I started analyzing. I'm like, maybe these things have armored skin because they have to have hard skin. I'm getting all scientific to get through the terrain and through the sand.
Yeah, so like armadillos.
Yeah. So maybe the bullets aren't working, so they get a fire in the mouth. And I'm like, oh, that's like a Quiet Place, you know. But I was thinking that, and I'm like, it was cool. Like once it got going and they were trapped and they had to figure out, you know, from the second they had to catapult from rock to rock to being stuck in that situation, that's when it got fun. The build up for me, it was a little cornball, but it's a fun old movie, and I survived the beginning and I enjoyed the rest.
Do you remember any of the Friday the 13th up to like when like Jason Takes New York was like ridiculous, but prior to that, every Friday the 13th build up was like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like kind of like you're getting situated in the theater with your popcorn and you're kind of seeing the characters, but it was almost like the first 15 minutes of the movie was almost throwaway. Like they didn't, on slasher movies and scary movies, they didn't put any of the filler in the middle or the end. They put it at the beginning. They set it up and it's kind of like, you know, but a lot of 80s and early 90s movies were like that. The beginning was kind of like, it could have been anything. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it sets it up.
The reason is because they have to make you like the characters, so that you have an invested emotion towards them dying or almost dying. You know what I mean? Like if they just threw the people out there, you wouldn't give a shit. But if they have something endearing about them, then all of a sudden you care. And Cody's right, dude. They start the movie with Stampede as the joke where he scares him and wakes him up, and he falls out of the truck. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you one day." And then they end the movie with Stampede. They just put the bow on it. It's like really good writing. Like they started and ended the movie.
What's that?
I said, that's good foreshadowing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a great way to put a bow on it. And it's like, oh, we've come full circle. Stampede, and you know, I thought it was cool. So that foreshadowing What did you had you seen it
Yeah, I
a
mean,
whole bunch of times?
standard, dude.
Yeah.
When you're like,
Yeah.
when you have to ride a bicycle 2 miles to the nearest store, and you can like, only check out movies on the weekends and stuff, you're pretty much, it's pretty standard.
You go with what you know. Yeah.
You're gonna, after you've watched Predator, like you can ask Chris Housen about this, Mike Housen. We tried to figure out how many times we've each seen Predator, and they had a really bad VHS copy of it. They're like, yeah, man, we were making like Hot Pockets, and we just put Predator in when nothing else was, just have something going on in the background.
Dude, that's like Rocky. I've seen all of the Rockies and all of the OG Supermans so many times
That's awesome.
they were like, we would just watch them all day. That's all you would do is watch Rocky and or also Commando and all those Terminator.
Bennett. I mean, I haven't seen like Tremors that many times, but I would watch it again and again just to see like Kevin Bacon in like a Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, and it's fun to it's fun to see the worms,
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves. I gotta step out for 1 sec.
It was just a great creature feature. That's the thing. Like when it comes down to it, I'm always a big sucker for creature features. If it's got a good monster, and they actually show it a lot. I hate the movies where they wait till the very end to show you the monster.
Make it a character.
And
that's
exactly.
Actually,
and this one it was a very unique monster.
We need to maybe do a little research, and maybe we can circle back around to this sometime. But I think during this time they weren't doing a lot of, that had kind of gone out of vogue. The Godzilla type, where you do show the monster the whole time.
Yeah, they absolutely they had. Around this time was oh shit. I'm trying to think of anything else. They didn't do a lot of creature features because this was slasher time. This was. So they didn't have a lot of creature features.
Like, I know Silver Bullet came out about the same time, Stephen King's Silver Bullet, but they showed just like little flashes of like monsters,
Yeah. And another one that does that or that doesn't do that is Pumpkinhead. They show the monster.
Oh yeah, that was a good one, dude.
I'm glad.
I really liked Pumpkinhead. The Pumpkinheads.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. I've seen 1 and 2. I haven't seen 2 in forever though. I usually watch. Once a year.
I've seen them. I've seen all 3, but dude, I mean, they kind of run together. They're one of those. That a movie, and I've brought this up many times. I think this movie gets shit on, but it's really good. That Jeepers Creepers. I thought for sure Jeepers Creepers was at least going to be like a Pumpkinhead. Because that was kind of a cool.
For the cult, the cult following or whatever.
The cult following, and there are people that like that movie that are entertained by that movie. But I thought the idea of like a moth, like almost like bat, like the Jeepers Creepers thing that could almost look like a thing in a trench coat. It's like they could have gone. They could have gone more and farther with that.
Well, but I think that what really killed it was I'm pretty sure the director was a pedophile. So
oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that kind of killed it.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Wow, Curtis, way to fucking totally ruin a movie forever for me.
Yeah, that's why I didn't keep up with him.
Yeah,
it was somebody. I'm pretty sure it was a director was caught for that.
What's his name? Jason Long or whatever was in it.
I don't know. That's what I've only seen the first one, and I've only seen it once.
Right.
Then I said,
were there more Jeepers Creepers?
There's a second one, and then they just either remade it or made another sequel, like kind of like a Halloween thing. They just made a
reboot,
either a reboot sequel or a reboot.
And I can't think. While we were like sort of talking, I was like had something running in the background on my operating system. I was like trying to think of another thing that would be an analogous to Tremors. I can't think of anything that really has that, where the creature is totally interactive and sort of resilient like that.
Well, it's almost, I was thinking, to me, it reminded me of almost like a zombie movie, because it's almost like a siege movie.
Yeah.
They've
like
got to get to certain spots.
That's
and,
right.
So but yeah, with them being smarter and growing smarter and stuff like that, it's definitely different. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's one out there, but and that's the thing too. It was an original story that really original story idea. The monster was original.
Yeah.
I mean, all the acting was good. I did notice this time around, like Clint was, it wasn't as bad for me, but and I probably wouldn't have noticed it. The opening was a little bit long. I probably wouldn't have noticed it, but I was telling my son like, "Hey, come check this out. Let's watch Tremors." And he's sitting there kind of all right, giving it a shot. And then it was about 20 minutes or so, maybe 30 minutes before they get to the monsters, and he'd already checked out. He was like, I don't care. Like,
dude, I swear to
he's
God,
like,
though, maybe I'm wrong, but every movie that came out around that time had about 15 minutes of throwaway. Even Red Dawn. I know that's sacrilege to say,
no, but
the beginning of Red Dawn before the paratroop in, it's just kind of like, people cutting up,
yeah. And I get what Clem's saying. You're getting them to care about the audience and
Yeah.
stuff, or getting the audience to care about the characters and all that stuff. But
Curtis and I
yeah,
got off on
it was.
Curtis and I
No,
got
I
off
was
on
saying
a
it was
jack,
noticeable. Like Clint,
What'd you
Go
say?
ahead. I was saying the opening was more noticeable this time around. That it was how kind of long and drawn out it was. I still enjoyed it, but it was I hadn't noticed it in the past, but it seemed longer this time.
It's always when you're trying to show to a friend or your kid, like, hey, check out how cool this is. And you're like, wait for it. It's going to get cool. And it never gets as cool as you remembered it. And you're like, fuck, now I look like I'm not cool.
But it also made it fun once you get into the spirit of it's like watching Dumb and Dumber. They're a couple of dumbasses,
Yeah.
and it's like that's just what kind of movie it was. Once you realize that, you're like, okay, and they're up there like, damn it, blah blah blah, and the rock paper scissoring, and it was like super. I'm just gonna make a scissoring joke, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But no, like,
Leave Zendaya out of this.
Wish I had watched that movie.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I'm just saying, I did have a crush on that on the chick. Which chick?
Yeah, I thought she was cute too, and I don't know, can't think of anything else she had been in. Let's see.
I'll tell you right now. Her name.
You look that up. Curtis and I were saying
her name is Finn Carter.
We don't know of another movie where the creature was like creatures were as persistent or a part of the character that was like persisting. Like there was this one Project Greenlight horror movie,
like Jaws.
Yeah, but even Jaws, like it didn't show very much of it. Like these showed the shit out of these creatures, and they were like, Curtis was like, it's kind of almost like a zombie movie. It's kind of siege movie like. I thought that was a very apt observation.
And it was weird having the snake tongue things, you know what I mean? Like
and I thought, like, rewatching it too, I thought it was funny how once they pull it off the axle, they're like, oh god, it stinks so much, it stinks, and then like everybody's just like wearing it around their neck, like, look, I've got this dead body around my neck, like it's obviously rancid and stinky. It's like, oh, okay, but I guess out there you got nothing else to do for fun. So
yeah, I guess. Plus, that kid was kind of weird anyway.
Yes.
Cody says, but I was 9.
Yeah, but I'm 40 and I thought she was pretty damn cute.
She was in Sweet Justice.
Let me see.
She was there. Didn't show any pictures, Dustin. It's not a book, Dustin. There's no pictures.
I can't picture. Oh,
just kidding.
Maybe the kind of books you read.
Sweet Justice. How I got into college. Halfway
decent. Not gonna work here anymore.
Missing Pieces.
Yeah.
Revealing Evidence.
Missing Pieces actually wasn't terrible. I think that was a kind of slasher film.
That was a drama.
Fuck you. I'm just kidding. Oh yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Whatever, dude.
The underutilized slasher drama.
Kind of. Let me see.
I don't think that's accurate.
I don't think it's accurate either.
Let's see what else we got.
Wish you weren't such a liar.
Sweet Justice sounds like a prison movie.
Hell yeah, Sweet Justice. That's what I call your mother, Trebek.
Um,
Man.
Off the rails. So
Totally.
far,
Look at that. Sweet Justice.
hold on, let me see. Which one is her?
That one.
That one? Huh. Oh God, who's that guy? Is that the dude
gonna-
from V?
I don't know, but I gotta.
That's the dude from V,
I
dude.
have to airdrop this.
It's the dude from V. Whatever happened to V, man? They tried to reboot that Bad Man Pajama, but
They had what's her name from Firefly was in it.
I didn't watch the reboot.
the OG
But-
chick from V was pretty cool. She looked like she should be
Dude,
like a wrestler's. Yeah, it's a dude from V.
Sweet Justice.
Faux show. Oh, is that Molly Ringwald
I don't
up in
know.
the top right
I got it. Now I have to look.
with the police
Is
special?
this going to be the next Versus episode that we're going to have to watch?
Sweet Justice.
We have to watch Sweet Justice.
Hey, man, that guy's getting kind of grabby down there towards the bottom.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look this up. Cast. Who's in Sweet Justice? Finn Carter, Mickey Rooney, Mark Singer, who is Steve Colton, Frank Gorshin, Kathleen Kinmont, Catherine Hickland.
Raleigh
I don't know any of these
Meanwald.
people. I'm not seeing her. I'm seeing Margene Holden, Patricia Tallman, Greg Brazel, Cheryl Paris. I'm seeing no Ringwald, dude.
That Cheryl Paris, that's her ghost name, her ghostwriter name when she does B films.
Oh boy, I don't think we're gonna watch this.
Yeah, man.
Sweet Justice.
Sweet Justice.
We're just gonna.
Sting, what do you think? I think that's Sweet Justice. You know,
We're just gonna move that down here.
Russians love their children too. Thanks, Sting.
Oh boy.
Thanks, man. Go in the corner and do some downward dog.
Maybe a few Hallmark movies. LOL.
Yeah.
Hell
Her
yeah.
life. Yeah, he's talking about how we were saying in a lot of the monsters movies at the time, they wouldn't show the damn monster. Like, you'd be
Just
waiting to
have
watch
flashes.
these. Yeah, they'd have flashes, and at the end, for like the last 7 minutes, you'd be like, "There's the monster in full blown,"
Yeah. Oh my
and then-
god.
Pretty much the Werewolves Within recipe.
Yeah. Oh my god. We
Yeah.
spent all the money on the last 7 minutes.
Yeah, with Zendaya. That was
Yeah.
the last 7
But
minutes.
But they did it purposefully. Like they were like, "You can't show the monster." Like it was a whole thing. Like you can't
Yeah.
show the monster. You can't show the monster because once you do, it's like you blow your load. Like.
Yeah.
But no, Tremors proved that you can have the monster
Until after
throughout the
Basic
film.
Instinct, in which case they showed that monster all the time.
You gotta let them know, hey, this is the threat, and then put them in a compromising position to make you imagine how you're gonna get out of that threat.
It's a psychological thriller of like a B movie that really,
And you gotta make
wouldn't
people
call-
say, I could totally get out of that.
yeah.
I wouldn't call Tremors a B movie, would you?
No.
I mean, you just did. You
It's got
just did.
it's got Kevin Bacon, man.
You act like Kevin Bacon never made a Rucker Hauer type movie. He did.
Dude, he's a
That's why you can connect him to so many different people. He's pretty much just like, well, I'm not connected to this actor. Boom, here's this shit movie.
I mean, he was You calling Fred Ward a B movie guy? Come on.
Fred Ward's been in some fucking B movies.
I think that's
Let's
his
see.
MO.
Yeah, Remo Williams wasn't some like top shelf.
He was in Tremors
Action.
2. He was in Remo Williams. He was in original trailer. He was in Sweet Home Alabama with Reese Witherspoon. He was in Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood.
Nice.
Yeah, he was in Henry and June. I don't know what that is. He was in Naked Gun 33 and a half.
He was, yeah.
Yeah,
He
sure was.
He was in Thunderheart with Val Kilmer. He was in Big Business. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm sure Thunderheart was like top shelf too.
Miami Blues, which looks like Alec Baldwin.
Probably Stephen Baldwin.
Well, no, it's Alec. But this is 1990s, so this
Oh.
is like Beetlejuice era. 30 Minutes or Less, Southern Comfort. Yeah,
He was great in Southern Comfort. Southern Comfort was a great movie. Do you remember what Southern Comfort was, Curtis? These National
not.
Guardsmen get lost in like the sticks in like basically the Ozarks or the Appalachian Mountains, and they end up fighting the locals, and they end up getting their asses handed to them. Powers Booth is in
Really?
it. Yeah, Powers Booth is in it. A couple other really good people, and it's like, you know, it's kind of like Deliverance with machine guns. Sounds badass.
Yeah, that's
if you're
my
talking,
kind of movie.
if you're talking to me,
Oh, I've got a. Holy shit! I've got a real movie here. Okay,
we're way off worms.
it's okay because this is all gonna make up for it. I have to just get this image.
So far, scariest
Remote.
worm is the new Dune worm. Sword tooth.
The graboids could kick its ass.
Nah, dude.
You know,
Sword.
there's some master big ass graboid out there that's the size. They're just
sword
because of
tooth
size.
lamprey. Like the lamprey looking worm is way scarier to me.
Have you ever read?
Look at this, dude.
Time
Rider.
So Time Rider versus Sweet Justice.
Time
Next
Rider.
week, guys,
Do y'all know about Time Rider? Do you want to
I
hear
bet
about?
that's what the soundtrack sounds like.
Okay, stop. Let me tell you what Time Rider is. Motorcycle race. Check it out. This is a 1980. I have to turn Dustin down. This is going to be rough.
Sorry.
This is a 1982 sci-fi film. It's oh boy. Motorcycle racer Lyle Swan, who's Fred Ward, is cruising through the Mexican desert when he accidentally stumbles into a time travel experiment and finds himself transported back to the Old West of the 1870s. There, he encounters an attractive local woman, Belinda Bauer, and a gang of criminals led by Porter Reese.
I thought you were going to say Puerto Ricans. And I was like,
Peter Coyote. Lyle's motorized bike is impressive in the past until it runs out of gas. Now Lyle must rely on his wits to take care of business and return to his own time. This is a Fred Ward movie called Time Rider.
I'm saying we need to do Sweet Justice versus Time Rider.
Time Rider.
Time Riders.
Time Rider.
So bad. Dude, he's done some great stuff, some great work.
I agree.
He was in Road Trip.
I think he's
Yeah, he
always
was the
good at
dad
everything
from
he's
Road
like.
Trip.
He's a good actor.
Chain Reaction with Keanu Reeves.
No
Yeah.
way.
Whoa.
It's going to blow up.
The Crow. Salvation.
Yeah, he was the crow in that.
He was in The Crow Salvation.
He was the crow in that one.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
I was about to say I have to go watch that right now.
The Crow. Wait, The Crow Salvation.
Is that
probably
the
the
dude from
second or third one.
WWE?
No, we're getting out of here. Okay. We're getting back on the rails. We got 5 viewing right now.
The graboids, I guess, were cool because they kind of hunted together like wolves
Mm-hmm.
in a kind of a pack. That's pretty cool.
Well, and their tongues too. That like once they lost them, they couldn't. The people would stand still. Their like tongue snakes would kick out and be like, "Let's find this fucker."
Yeah.
I tell you what, when that one ran into the concrete where the ditch was, and it killed itself, I thought it was gonna wake up. I was like, that thing's not dead. And they're like, oh, he done killed himself. And I'm like, no, he done not. Y'all are about to get killed. Y'all about to get killed.
That's like some standard redneck shit. Yep, that deer's dead. Oh, God,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right. I was like, no, this is gonna
Go
end.
over there, Earl.
And she comes
Kick it.
over and starts poking at it.
Yeah,
and like,
totally.
I'm like, no, don't do that. This is not. Yeah.
Been badass.
I
You
Don't
should have
put
wrote
your
that.
lips on it.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like, run, Earl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fun. I enjoyed the movie. I loved it. I liked the explosives. I wanted more explosives.
I remembered more explosives, but yeah, there wasn't as many as I thought.
They should have done that shit like the end of Caddyshack.
Yeah, I thought they would have
You s-
started getting a little more
You say that about
strategic.
every movie, okay? Let it go, Dustin. You say that
Yeah,
about every
do I
movie we
have I
talk
brought
about.
up Caddyshack a lot? That's a pivotal movie for me.
No, I'm just kidding.
Caddyshack.
Yeah.
No, my opinion is they should end every movie the way they ended Conan the Barbarian. Chop the guy's head off and chuck it down some stairs. Like,
Yeah, man.
every movie should end like that. Toy Story. I mean, whatever. Name it.
Yeah, pretty much every movie. Toy Story 2? Toy Story 3?
Who knows?
Toy
That
Story
might be
4.
the way they end Dune.
Snap.
To be continued.
To be
If they're
continued.
smart.
Well, you guys want to talk about some Beetlejuice?
Sure, I do. Faux show.
Holy shit balls.
I don't know if anybody's seen that movie though, so we can talk about it real quick. But
Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
What an adventure. I've seen that movie probably 50 times. At least.
When you first, can you remember, like, when you first saw it, what was the most surprising thing? To me, like, you're a kid, you're watching Beetlejuice. The most surprising thing to me was the dinner party with the Deo, means the Deo.
I love how quick, the snake, the whole movie is just a
Yeah.
freaking adventure. And also how fast. I'm like, was he on cocaine? Like how fast, sharp and witty and
Yeah.
like
I'm the ghost with the most, baby.
borderline reminds me of my brother Mike.
Kind of.
Mikey.
Yeah.
But, well, I lived through the Black Plague. I've seen The Exorcist 167 times. Keeps getting funnier every single time. Like, he's just fucking awesome, dude. I've been Beetlejuice for Halloween. I love Beetlejuice. Like, but also this time around, seeing him, I didn't really recognize how grabby he was, how much of a perv that he was, and I love that. And if they do make another Beetlejuice, which I hear that they're talking about, I hope that they stick with that part of his character, because it's part of what makes him creepy and makes him like, ooh, get away.
Yeah.
He's a total creeper, and it's fucking hilarious. He's like, he keeps getting foiled before he can before he gets a chance to be gross or anything like that. But he's a total creeper. He's like, hey, it's like,
but he keeps coming like Wile E. Coyote. It's pretty cool.
It's hilarious.
Yep.
No, I've always thought of when you think about movies, like, how did this never get a sequel? Like, Beetlejuice is at the top of the list. They're talking about it now, but I can't believe there wasn't like 6 Beetlejuices by now.
Yeah.
It was everybody loved the movie. It was a great movie. It was a hit. They had a cartoon and everything. Like, I just can't believe they
used to love
didn't
the
make
cartoon.
another one. Yeah, the cartoon was even good.
Cartoon was good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. It appeals to kids and adults. Like, rewatching it, you get a lot of the humor that you didn't get as a kid.
Mhm.
And it goes over the kids' heads. So my kids have seen it, and it's great fun.
I had so much fun watching. I watched it earlier today, and I had so much fun. Like, even just the music alone.
So good.
The music, like,
that might be his best one.
What?
Danny
Elfman?
Yeah.
It might be. The piano. It's like, it's as perfect. It's as perfect as the Halloween music is. Like, when you hear that, you're like, dude, that's just fucking perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the Halloween music is it's like a sweet accident. Like, they're going to make something creative to fit this thing and give it a vibe, and it's not accidental. They intentionally were trying to do that, but it's just like,
But they nailed it.
but they fucking nailed it. Like it's like it's like poetry. It's like Romeo, wherefore art thou? That's something that's going to go down in history forever, because it's such a perfect written thing that just resonated with people, and it's like iconic. Like, the music on those films, or it's like it's like, it's up there with the
Star Wars
and Superman. Dun, 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 bum, bum, bum. It's like, it's perfect. And Eye of the Tiger for Rocky. It's just, there's certain music that is just like, it just nails it. And like, and I didn't remember that being so perfect for the quirky, fun vibe with a little smidge of creepiness to it, and it just nailed it. I was smiling ear to ear, and I haven't seen this movie since the 90s. I haven't seen Beetlejuice in ages. And I've seen that movie like at least 50 times. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a rant. I just was super stoked. Just the music alone got me excited, and then I got back into it, and I've like watching them crash, and the dogs on the thing, and I forgot that they crashed. I didn't remember how they died. I didn't remember. It's been so long that I was watching it for the first time, but noticing as a more observant viewer all of these interesting little things, and things like the way the green light shined when they went into certain rooms, and the way that they made these sets and things, because you're dealing with all like handmade sets and stuff.
Well, let me ask you this, or both of y'all, because I never thought about this, but my son asked me. Like I said, we watched it about a week ago or so. At the end, he's like, "So are they back alive, or are they still ghosts?" The Maitlands, because Otho does that thing, and they come back into their bodies, and then their bodies start dying again. But then Beetlejuice reverses it, and at the end, they're painting, they're doing these things like but then they still have like these ghostly powers. So,
they are ghosts,
but they're happy. They're complete. They're like,
but the reason I'll
put
say
to rest.
Yeah. But the reason I'll say they're ghosts is because Lydia comes in and says, "Hey, I got those pictures of the courthouse or the schoolhouse or whatever, the church or whatever, or the city hall or whatever that you wanted," because he can't leave the house because he'll end up falling into Saturn if he leaves the house. So if you remember that, she came home from school. She's like, "Yeah, I made a C on my whatever. Here's those pictures you wanted of the courthouse, of the new courthouse, because he's working on the model, and he needs a new version of the courthouse for his little city, and he can't go himself."
Yeah. Okay. Good save. Yeah, because I didn't know how to answer him. I was like, I don't know. I just never thought.
That's a really good question, because the way they reversed it, I thought it was real cool too. How they go back in their bodies and it's all like.
Yeah.
I love when the jaw falls. Falls. It's like, here you
go. Well, and one thing that bothered me as a kid, you're like, what really stood out as a kid was, so whenever they do that, I love the scene. Like when they make their faces weird, and he sticks his hand through his head and stuff like that. But I was like, they can't see you, so why are you doing that? Like the whole point of it was like they couldn't see him. And then I'm like, as a kid, I was like, they can't see him, so you're making all this scary stuff, and they can't see you. So
they probably didn't know. They're trying their best.
Yeah, but Juno, their caseworker, and I love how Death is just like the DMV,
Yeah,
totally. Oh god,
I
that's
love
what
that.
makes you fear Death the most.
Yeah, that it would be mediocre at best.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah,
I love that. I love the woman sawed in half, because now watching it, I know it's just a woman laying straight back with her behind the couch, and then another woman. You know what I mean? It's like I can tell how they did that, but as a kid, I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
I like when his head shrunk too.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and I was thinking that now. I was like, dude, I know enough editing stuff. I could actually do a shrunken head thing right now.
Yeah, it's cool. We should remake Beetlejuice.
Yeah, actually, I have an idea for a ridiculous horror movie.
Cool, man.
That I'm not going to announce.
Is it called Curse of the Werepanda?
No, it's not it at all. But that's good too. Yeah, we was talking about this yesterday, and I was like, dude, that's a good idea. What were you going to say, Curtis?
We're going to recast. Well, we're going to recast Beetlejuice as Sting instead of Michael Keaton. So.
Well, all you Trixie, I've been doing tantric yoga all day. Yeah. Looks like something fucking Curtis would clean his teeth with. Get out of here, Sting, you fucking pipsqueak.
Yeah, you're about to make me put on the red light over here, buddy.
Sting, yeah. Don't make me put on that red light, Sting. I'm about to whoop your ass.
Yeah, dude. I wish they'd have put an archery scene in this movie. You know that Gina Davis is like an Olympic
Oh, that's true,
caliber
yeah.
archer.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Well, and I love how just the what are they from New York, right? The city people are just so fucking obnoxious. Like,
Yeah,
they're
I love that.
so terrible.
So
Like,
bougie and like fucking.
we
like,
all live in cities, not
Yeah.
New York or LA or anything, but we all live in big cities. And we know not everybody's like that, but we do know people like that.
Yeah.
Like,
But they do a good job. Like Delia Dietz is the mom, who's Catherine O'Hara.
She's great.
She's the artist who's awesome. Is
Legend.
the mom from Home Alone? You know,
Yeah.
but this is the first movie I ever saw her in. You know, and then when I saw Home Alone, I was like, dude, it's a mom from Beetlejuice. But I love it because it makes them douchey, like Elaine from Seinfeld in Christmas Vacation, where they're the neighbors.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're
Right,
like,
yeah.
oh, they're always wearing black, and they're all like all what was considered hip and modern in the
Yeah.
early '80s. You know, all the mirror
For sure.
blinders, vertical blinders, and all that. It's so funny.
I
Yeah,
hate
super.
vertical blinds. I hate vertical blinds so much. So,
Yeah, but that's
so
some
much.
super '80s shit right
Yeah,
there. Like,
totally.
yeah. Yeah, I used to have when I was a little kid. I used to go take. I'd go around this apartment complex. It's amazing that let me do this. Look, but I would go around and I was like a first or second grader. Can I take your trash out? I'd take the trash out. And there was this one lady that I remember, and she had like all mirror, like vertical blinds, and like mirror, like coffee table, and like mirror everything. It was all fancy and modern, and she looked like Elaine on.
She probably had shoulder pads.
She did,
like
total.
puffy
She had
shoulder
like she would
pads
have
and,
like a leather skirt,
Yeah.
and shoulder pads, and was
Yeah.
like it was like Elaine on freaking Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
Totally, yeah. It was that whole '80s style, which is
Probably drank Tab.
it's super
Drank
cheesy now.
Tab
But
and
yeah.
had a diaphragm.
But I would go around, throw the trash out, and she'd give me $1. Thanks. That's pretty funny.
So you mentioned the leather
We used to
skirt.
call her the prostitute.
Jesus.
Y'all are right.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, she was a coke whore.
Yeah. My mom
Clint used to take the trash out for
my
coke
mom
whore.
brought it up. She's like,
Yeah.
"You remember that you used to take the trash out for the
But that
prostitute?" I'm like, I
could
don't think
totally
she was
hear
really.
your mom. I could totally hear.
I
your
don't
mom
really
saying
think
that.
she was, but that's what all the kids in the apartment complex.
That's
would
what
say.
all the moms said that had to watch her parade around in a poodle skirt and puffy shoulder pads. Their diaphragm falling out.
I was too young to know any better. Like, oh, I wasn't like, oh, she's hot. I was like
Yeah.
a second grader. I'm
Sure.
just like, oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks for the
I got
$1.
$1.
I can buy a
Yes.
Snickers now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It was hilarious. Yeah, my mom was like, yeah, you used to call her the prostitute in second grade. All right.
So
back to
who did the worm the best? I gotta say, if I had to pick all of them, Beetlejuice, I guess, was the funnest for sure.
For sure. And then in this one we actually get to see Gina Davis riding the worm. Like,
Yeah, what's up, girl?
yeah. Like she learned pretty quick. That was pretty
Yeah.
sweet, you know?
So you gotta make a cut now. You gotta make an edit of Gina Davis riding that worm with the background of "The sleeper has awakened."
Yeah, the spice must flow. Yeah. Can you connect Gina Davis in one move
To who?
to Kevin Bacon, man?
To-
What fucking show do you think this is?
Uh,
I can.
I think I can. Let me think.
Go ahead. Try it.
Gina Davis
Mm-hmm.
to Kevin Bacon. Well, shit, you just said it earlier.
Got this, dude. We believe in you. This dead air. We don't
No,
need dead air.
well,
We got five. We
I
got
didn't
5
come up-
viewers.
you just
I
said
didn't
it.
come up with this to stump you. It just popped in my head while I was thinking about Gina Davis.
No, go ahead. Y'all just said the movie that Kevin Bacon and
So what I said earlier is JFK, Sleepers, or what was the other one that I told you? So to get the Gina Davis, you got JFK, A Few Good Men. Kevin Bacon is in JFK, and Gina Davis is in Long Kiss Goodnight. And who connects those two movies together?
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Nope. Samuel L. Jackson.
Long Kiss Goodnight, bro.
Yeah, that's what I said. Gina Davis.
No, but is he in?
He's in JFK.
Sam's in. He's in JFK. I don't
Yep.
know.
Joe Pesci kills him.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Yep.
Well, I knew he was in JFK, but I couldn't like that.
Those are like the three movies that will get you everywhere you need to go: Sleepers, JFK, and A Few Good Men. Because like Robert De Niro is in Sleepers, I believe. Everybody, you can get to the cast of Dune through JFK because Tommy Lee Jones is in JFK, and he was in.
I didn't remember any
and he
of
was
that.
in what's it called with Josh Brolin and Javier? What is it? No Country for Old Men.
No Country. Yeah. No, see, I didn't remember. I knew that Bacon and Costner were in there, and that's literally all I could remember from JFK. I couldn't remember anybody.
Can you
else.
get Gina Davis to Leo Thompson?
Who's
Leah Thompson? What's Leah Thompson?
Yeah.
What's she?
You don't know who she is?
I'm like blanking. I know
That's
the
the
name.
girl from Howard the Duck.
Yep.
Isn't that the girl? Yeah.
Oh
that's the
yeah,
girl from
you
Howard
gotta
the Duck.
go. You gotta go probably by way of either Some Kind of Wonderful or Back to the Future.
She's the mom in she's the mom in Back to the Future.
So
there you go. You got it right there.
There's a shorter way.
was she in a movie with
What?
Kevin Bacon?
Jeffrey Jones, the dad who plays Charles Dietz. The dad is in Howard the Duck.
Oh,
he is. He's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
Dude,
Where were you, chat?
I really like how much Marvel's What If had Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
That was badass. Howard the Duck vindicated.
Hopefully it's still coming. They were talking they might do a movie. Hopefully it's still coming. I still recognize the original. Some people don't. But
Hell
I do.
yeah! Why wouldn't you
But now
recognize
with the
original?
multiverse,
That makes no
with the
sense.
multiverse, like
It's
I know that shit wouldn't stand up. If I watched that today, I'd be like angry. It'd be like watching the Chosen.
it's
What's
good.
the
we got to watch it now.
What's the Eddie Murphy movie?
Golden Child.
Golden Child. None of that
Yeah,
special
that's
effects holds up. It just makes me angry. There's
It's
a couple
not
of good. There's a couple of good lines like, give me the knife.
Maybe we can do some like pre-MCU Marvel films. Like
For sure. Like Howard the Duck still stands up.
Howard the
I'll
Duck's
tell you.
one. We could do Blade.
Nice.
sure.
Blade would be
Yeah.
nice.
Because those early ones were licensed. They weren't like
Mm.
they weren't actually MCU. You know.
Well, Howard the Duck was technically a Marvel production, but
Yeah.
like,
it was done by
like,
Lucas.
it wasn't. It
Howard
wasn't
the
Marvel
Duck.
Studios or anything.
Yeah, it was licensed. That's what they were doing back in the early days, is just licensing out their stuff left and right, trying to make money, and then on licenses, and hoping they could make money on toys if possibly. And Howard the Duck, it was a complete flop. They didn't even make their money back on this.
That was a flop.
super flop.
I remember that as a kid, thinking like,
I saw it in the
Oh,
theater,
yeah.
but I just read a book about Marvel, and it was like talking about it. It was such a flop that Lucas was really wanting to. He thought he was going to be a home run, and he really needed a success because he had really overextended himself with like ILM and all the stuff that he was doing at the time. And this was such a flop that
the fucking mortgage was about to come up on
Yeah,
fucking
he
Lucas
was like-
Ranch.
Yeah, and he had all this stuff that he had, like successes in Star Wars and stuff, but he was like, cool, I'm expanding here, and he was really, which is really the smart ones. That's what you do while while you're in the spotlight. You got to capitalize on this momentum, but he overdid it. Which, like, Elon Musk was at a point too where he was like, dude, I only have enough money for one. Really, he's like, I could put all my money that I have left into this company, or I can split it in half, and have a chance to possibly fail at both, but he was in love with SpaceX and Tesla, and he didn't want to sacrifice either one, so he did split it down the middle, and he just got lucky that they both succeeded. Lucas was at the same point. He ended up selling off because Howard the Duck put him in such a hard spot. He sold off this computer graphics company that he had started with computer animation and stuff, and then Steve Jobs bought it, and it turned into Pixar. So it was
wow.
yeah, Howard the Duck took Pixar away from George Lucas. Like, if he hadn't have made that movie, he wouldn't have sacrificed that. He would have been cutting edge on that, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had made the first like Howard the Duck CGI movie. You know, like it'd be like, oh my god.
Well, back then they still hadn't had that lamp thing. When that once the lamp thing happened, it's like, okay, this is some legit stuff. I don't know what the first Pixar movie was. I don't remember.
Was it Toy Story?
It might have been.
Toy Story,
yeah.
Or they probably did like little work here and there, but that was the first, full Pixar movie.
Yeah, dude, that's like Beetlejuice. Again, dude, like it was like a pleasure to watch that again, and Michael Keaton's performance in that is so over the top. I was like, it made me want to like. He was so good, and like with like subtle little things all over the place that it's like I can't even believe how good he is with that character. I'm like, how much of that character did they feed him, or did he just say, "Okay, you want me to be obnoxious? No problem. Let's do this. I got it." And like, I'm like, was he on a bunch of cocaine?
Might have had an uncle that was like that.
He might have, yeah. Did he even is like I legit back in those days that was the thing. Like, you know, everybody
Robin Williams
was Robin Williams. All those guys were coked up, and I wondered is this just straight badassery, or is this like is this a drug fueled thing? You know,
I don't know if you've ever were into that movie like Mr. Mom or like
for sure, yeah,
Made in America, like, or what was the one with the cars one where he was like he basically was like
Robin Williams.
No, it was it was Michael Keaton. He was basically the manager of a car
I know what you're talking about.
Manufacturer, but it basically the Japanese people came to work there.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And that was fucking legit.
That was good.
Like
he's always good. Like he's always good.
Yeah, he is every bit as iconic for his monologues in his movies as like a Bill Murray or somebody like that. Mm-hmm. Like he really shines.
Gung ho. It was gung ho.
Gung ho. That's right.
Thanks, Bobby.
Bobby.
He shows how like good of an actor he is, because there's a lot of good actors, but when you can pull off all these different roles, like it's a fucking great actor. Because not only all of his serious stuff, he's fucking Batman, he's Beetlejuice and all this stuff. Think about something like The Other Guys with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell.
Mm-hmm.
It was an okay movie. He steals the fucking show, being the chief of police, and he also works at, where does he work at, a tile warehouse or something, like some store, or something like that. He steals the goddamn show of this. It's an okay movie, but like when he's in there, it's just hilarious.
I mean, he played at least 7 different characters in Multiplicity.
Yeah,
right. That's a good one. Yeah, we got to bring that one back.
I can't wait to see what he does in the Flash movie. He's going to be in the new Flashpoint movie that's coming out.
He's in the new show Dope Sick, that new movie.
That looks good, yeah.
Yeah.
He's playing 1989 Batman.
Yeah.
In the new, he's playing the same Batman. He's coming back as Batman.
Oh wow! Because
of Flashpoint and all that. The Flash, like they're doing a multiverse thing, and basically ends up. So we're gonna have both Ben Affleck's Batman and that Batman, which he's gonna be older.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, and so like I saw some footage. They had DC Fandom. I saw some footage, and there's like you can hear Michael Keaton narrating or talking a little bit. They have some, and then there's like you see the Flash looking, and it's the old school Batmobile underneath a cloth, and he's like. And he's about to pull. You're like, come on, pull the cloth. I want to see the old Batmobile. Yeah. Pretty awesome. So that's going to be pretty cool. He's going to steal the show. And then There's a new Batgirl movie that's coming up. They just announced that Brendan Fraser is going to be in it.
What? Awesome.
He's going to be in it as
Fucking finally.
I think it was Firefly.
Curtis, I don't know if you've seen the Doom Patrol series on HBO Max, but it is fucking awesome.
I
love those quirky. I love like the Watchmen style, like weird superhero show, and this is like about as quirky and psychedelic as you can like get. Is like super awesome.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
For anybody that likes the Umbrella Academy or shit like that, you will love Doom Patrol.
It's good.
It's so
dude.
well cast. It's like ridiculously well cast.
At the same time, it's my MO to not get into a show when it's going on. Like, I hate that so much. Like,
You got 3
once
seasons now of Doom Patrol.
Yeah, but
to dig
once you
in.
catch up, you got to wait for the new one. And
Yeah,
so
I guess you're right.
usually I wait till they end and then like binge them.
Well, Brendan Fraser plays this character called Cliff, which is Robot Man from the old Doom Patrol, and he wears a new punk rock T-shirt every like single episode. He has a new badass like old punk rock, like a Descendants shirt or Dead Kennedys or Dead Milkmen or Bad Brains. It's like really fucking.
You know what you need to do? You know what you need to do?
Get a Riddling Kid shirt on that mofo.
Go dig out some old Riddling Kids and just mail it to him. See if he'll wear it.
He was wearing a Toady shirt.
He was wearing the Toadies. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was like stoked on that.
Just mail it. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean, what's worse can happen? You lose a shirt. Like,
right.
Oh well, he might be caught in public wearing it, in People magazine or something. Anyway, like.
Yeah, he's gonna play Firefly. You know who Firefly is? He's a light expert kind of a guy that would do light tricks to pull stuff off.
I don't know.
I'm not really that familiar with the cutter.
I could pretend I could do what most people do on streams and go, oh yeah.
So he's like Jubilee
Firefly.
for DC.
Yeah, Jubilee. They need to get a legit Jubilee, like the Jubilee Wolverine banter is the best. That's the best.
That was pretty cool.
That's the best
yeah,
buddy cop. You know, they paired Wolverine with like Kitty Pryde and stuff like that, and that's cool. But him and Jubilee are definitely like a Murtaugh and Riggs situation.
And it was like this father-daughter kind of relationship, but not really, and kind of I agree with that. That was good.
Oh, what I was gonna say about the Batgirl movie that Brendan Fraser is gonna be in is that the directors said a little while back that they were gonna have the real Batman in this. Like, I think is how they phrased it, but they're like, what does that mean?
Val Kilmer?
But yeah, totally. But what's interesting is the Commissioner Gordon that they're gonna have is what's his name from the guy who's in Spider-Man and who's the main guy in
who plays Jonah Jameson?
Yeah, what's his name? See
the Allstate guy?
I can't think of his name.
C. Thomas Howell?
That guy. Yeah.
No, that's a joke.
Howell,
that's the guy from Soul Man.
You're a dick. Oh, I gotta look it up.
How
Batgirl.
organic that was made me so happy because I was trying to think of a name to throw in.
Totally.
I could be like,
Sam
no,
Elliott.
No. And then it just happened, and it was like,
It's freaking J.K. Simmons is
J.K. Simmons.
So
I like J.K.
So you got
Rollins.
J.K.
Rollins is.
So you got J.K. Simmons, and then Leslie Grace is going to be Barbara Gordon, but you got J.K. Simmons, and J.K. Simmons was the same Commissioner Gordon that they had with Batfleck, so it's the same universe. So it's like, you're like, are they going to have Robert Pattinson in this, or no? They can't. They're going to have or is it going to be Batfleck? And I think it's going to be, you can have Michael Keaton because he's going to be pulled into that universe from The Flash. So they'll be in the same universe as this version of Commissioner Gordon. So I think they're going to have older Batman mentoring Batgirl. I think it
should be Clint Eastwood's last movie.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. And so I think that'll be interesting. Or maybe it'll be Batfleck, but I don't know. That's weird.
Can I see what Batgirl looks like?
Yeah, she's hideous. Yeah, totally hideous. see.
Okay, cool. She's kind of got like a
Batgirl thing going on.
kind
Yeah.
of got like a Batgirl
Kind of batty.
thing.
She's not hideous.
Kinda
She's
bat-ish.
completely stunning. That's what being. That's
Wow,
called
stunning. I like
that's
that,
called
Clint.
Jeez. Sarcasm. There, she was from In the Heights.
Oh, okay.
If you didn't see that movie, her name
Oh,
is
yeah.
Leslie Grace.
Yeah.
She's really good.
I
So
mean,
I
she's
think
no C. Thomas Howell, but
She's no C. Thomas Howell.
no.
C. Thomas Howell
He's
a
been
la
working
Soul Man
out.
or C. Thomas Howell a la The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer.
Oh, what's the actress who plays Nikita? What's her name?
Bridget Nielsen.
You're a dick.
See, this is what Google has done to our minds.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Like the other day, I literally didn't use Google, and I couldn't think of any Kevin Bacon movie. I was like,
can't
why is he
think
so
of
fucking
anything.
famous? He's only been in like 2 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like tequila didn't help. Let's see. Maggie Q.
Maggie Q. Who's that? I don't think that's right.
Freaking Nikita, dude.
Let me see. The Nikita TV
But
show?
there's like 3 different versions of it.
Yeah, there's 3
like,
different
Not
versions.
La Femme Nikita. Nikita. Fuck yeah,
Oh,
Nikita.
Nikita. I need you so.
And she was in The Protege with Samuel Jackson.
The Protege,
And
I think is how
You know
they
who else
pronounce
was
it.
in there?
Who?
Is
Kevin Bacon?
Michael Keaton. And they were badass, and he's still got it,
Snap.
man. He is over there. They were doing fight scenes and like all kinds of stunts and like fighting, and I'm like, he's getting up there in age, advanced for doing the kind of like action stuff they were doing. And
That's probably more believable than wooden ass Bruce Willis in a fight scene lately.
Nikita, you know who
Oh,
she is.
okay, yeah, all
She's in
right.
a million different that girl,
Yeah.
Maggie Q. I used to watch Nikita, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm Nikita.
Yeah, man.
I like Nikita. But The Protege is a fun movie. If you haven't seen that, check it out.
I don't know if I have.
No, it just came out a few months ago. It's got
God damn.
Maggie Q is the protege of Samuel Jackson, who is a hitman who rescued her as a child and trained her to be a hitman.
That's the fucking sequel to The Professional
Is it?
Basically,
that they didn't make. Like,
Oh.
why the fuck? What
I
are they
wish-
doing here?
dude.
That's the sequel to the fucking
we got to
Professional.
do a show with
You
those
just
two.
described it.
Yeah.
We got to do a show with the protege and the
That's cool.
professional.
And
Yep.
why can't Natalie Portman just do that? Just do
Yeah.
the fucking
Like, I don't understand.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. We're gonna have to do those two together. No,
Damn it, that pisses me
we
off.
gotta
now.
wait till there's a hole in the schedule.
They're like, you know what would be a good movie? And it's like, oh yeah, that would be a good movie. Except it's the fucking sequel to The Professional that everybody's been wanting for 20 years. Like,
Except this takes place in Vietnam. He rescues her in Vietnam.
well, still.
I pronounce it Vietnam.
Yeah, man.
It's Villeneuve. Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Indochina.
Yeah.
Man, where the hell is Rajneesh and Reese 75
Dude, I
tonight?
know. How many we got watching?
We got
Seems-
4.
Seems like we should have more interaction.
We got well, I say 4.
Are you not entertained?
We've got Bobby that counts for like 10.
Yep.
Bobby's like 10 people.
She's a force
then-
multiplier like the Green Berets.
That's right.
She's got a raspberry beret. Kind of bad at a secondhand store. Raspberry beret.
Mm-hmm.
I think I love her.
Sue was watching earlier.
Yeah, she said that we were funny.
I was like, where the hell is Dustin? And then she commented,
Yeah.
he's on his way.
He's coming there on 2 wheels, fucking flying around the corner.
Isn't the mechanic also similar to the professional?
No.
The mechanic. Who's in that again?
The new mechanic was what's his name from Snatch?
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham, but it's a remake of the mechanic is a remake of a Death Wish. Who does Death
Charles
Wish?
Bronson.
Charles Bronson movie.
Yeah.
The Mechanic is a Charles Bronson movie. The Jason Statham was a remake of that. Done very well. I like that. Both of those.
What did you think of The Mechanic, the Charles Bronson remake?
With
I
Jason
didn't
Statham.
see it. I never saw it.
Isn't that about a hitman who rescues somebody and trains them to be a mechanic? Just kidding.
So, Molly Ringwald, who we mentioned earlier, who's in Sweet Justice,
Sweet.
Molly
The sweetest
Ringwald
justice.
to Kevin Bacon. What you got?
Hold on. Hold my beer. Let's see.
No Googling.
Yeah, hold on. Let me think. I'm going to go Breakfast Club to Young Guns to A Few Good Men.
Who?
Yeah.
I know everybody's in A Few Good Men, but
Isn't Lou Diamond Phillips in A Few Good Men?
I don't know. That's I don't know.
Hold on a second. I'm going to look that up. You could probably do, hold on.
Molly Ringwald to John Cryer to Christopher Reeves to...
Why are you going that way?
Why not?
Okay. I like that.
John Cryer's in...
Oh, dude, I went to Google Lou Diamond Phillips. It says Lou Diamond Phillips net worth. That's rude. Don't put people's net worth on there, especially if they don't have a super high net worth. Fucking
like
jerks.
$6. Like, damn it. Get that off of there.
Yeah.
I can't think of...
Christopher Reeves.
You could also go to Richard Pryor from that. You can also go to Ned Beatty from that.
No, I would do Gene Hackman to somewhere.
Oh yeah, Gene Hackman was in A Few Good Men, wasn't he?
Shit.
He's in every other movie in the 90s. Hold on.
I would probably try to go through Mississippi Burning, Gene Hackman.
This is getting out of hand.
This is getting raw, y'all.
So wait, I need to check something because I have all these things going through here, and I want to make sure that I was right about Kevin Bacon being in this. Welcome to Look at Us Google Stuff.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying.
Yeah, you fucking guys can help that are watching.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Come on. Dude, I think I imagine. I'm almost certain that Lou Diamond Phillips is in A Few Good Men.
Gene Hackman had to have been in something with, let's see, A Few Good Men cast.
So,
because you can go to John Cryer. John Cryer is in Superman 4.
But think about this. This is where I went because I could not remember any Kevin Bacon movies. But he's in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Kevin Bacon is?
He is. He's the guy that robs them.
Oh, that's great.
And so that got me kind of to a lot of places where I needed to be. And basically, to linking him to every movie that we were doing tonight was through that, and then going to Marvel movies, like, because Marvel movies too, like, they've got everybody in there, so you can link through anything in that, especially since Sam Jackson's in them, and he's also in Star Wars, and like, you just
Samuel L. Jackson is in so many movies. I think he's the highest grossing movie star with the most movies.
He's been in everything.
That's top bill.
He's been in Star Wars. He's been in Marvel. He's been in Pulp Fiction. He's been in fucking everything.
First movie I ever saw him in was called Whale Caesar with Anthony Michael Hall. a juiced up Anthony Michael Hall is like a football player, and he plays like the I think like a mailman in that movie. I was like, oh shit, that's Samuel L. Jackson. But I had seen that movie when it came out.
I think the first movie I mean, I may have seen him in other stuff, but the first movie I recognize or remember him was Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh,
And
he's
I love
good.
that
There's a
character.
great story. There's a great story in that Quentin Tarantino was having him be in Pulp Fiction, and Bruce Willis is in Pulp Fiction too.
Mhm.
And Bruce Willis is like, "Hey man, this your life's really about to change. I know you've been in a bunch of stuff, and but your life is really about to change. It's pretty
Come with
crazy.
me if you want to live.
Yeah, come with me if you want to leave." I'm getting pissed off that I can't pull up any of this shit that I want. Oh well, whatever.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I was just saying
Whatever,
I don't know.
Lou Diamond.
Dude,
would've trusted
Footloose
Joe
is a
Joseph.
good one. I mean, you got Sarah Jessica Parker, you got
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow, you got Chris Penn,
Yeah.
you've got Diane West. Diane West's been in a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
She was in Lost Boys.
Mm.
See, that's the thing. I didn't remember.
She was in The Mule with
anybody
Clint
else.
Eastwood. She was in Edward Scissorhands.
That's a good one. So there's Ringwald right there. Ringwald, Breakfast Club with Anthony Michael Hall. Anthony Michael Hall, Edward Scissorhands with wait, who am I linking to? Now I'm
Diane
going to
West.
Kevin. Diane West, who was in Footloose, Kevin Bacon.
Damn, you're good, Curtis.
I didn't remember any of that. Y'all just like I didn't remember anybody else that was in Footloose. I just knew Kevin Bacon was in it.
Facts of Life figure in there somewhere? The Facts of Life.
Well,
All about
you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both,
and then you have
the facts of life.
the
I'm gonna
facts
go eat
of
some
life.
chicken.
Joe, my favorite character.
Diane West was in I Care a Lot with Peter Dinklage.
Ooh, yeah.
Did you see that movie?
Me and Sue
That was
want to
good.
see that movie really bad. I really like the Gone Girl actress.
Yeah.
I think she plays a badass like foil. Like you want to hate that lady. She's such a good actress. If you can like milk that much vitriol out of people,
It was a good movie.
You're fucking good.
It's a good movie, and preying on old people
Yeah.
who are helpless is a great way to make people hate you. Yeah, it was pretty
Well
damn
said.
good. Molly Ringwald was
Molly-
in Facts.
Yeah, but it's only movies. We can only do movies.
Is it though?
I mean, we can, but there's so many
I'm just kidding.
TV shows.
I just
like,
wanted to fucking say it like
like-
that, Curtis. I'm sorry. I'm never persnippety, but I've just like it. I was inspired.
Well, never fight inspiration. Are you still looking up Lou Diamond Phillips? Few Good Men.
Fucking trying. I think it threw me for a loop because Kiefer Sutherland is in there, but you could
Well, then
get
you're
there.
already done. Why are you?
You
that's the
could
same-
get there to Young Guns with Kiefer, and then, Estevez is in there, and he's in Breakfast Club.
Another good one is freaking Kevin Bacon was in X-Men First Class.
What did he do in that?
Yes, that was a good one. Yeah, that's how I was linking him back to the original Dune, because Patrick Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But he was Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah. Now I'm looking up other ones. I like how we went and how we're just doing Kevin Bacon game.
Yeah,
It's
man.
yeah.
our new
We
show.
knew that this was gonna, devo into this, devolution into Kevin Bacon.
All good.
All right. People in the chat, name 2 actors or actresses.
Dude, Sleepers is a really good one.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen Sleepers.
Sleepers
is
has
really good.
Brad Pitt. You can get from Brad Pitt to anybody.
Yeah.
And doesn't it also have
It's got Brad Renfro.
Who's the guy in Speed 2?
It's got Jason Patrick.
Jason Patrick.
Yeah.
Jason Patrick's in Lost Boys. Hello.
Michael.
Oh, shit.
The
I didn't realize that was the same
Michael.
guy.
Michael. Now we're talking about Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Do you like your biscotti?
Yeah.
Because it's worms. You're eating worms.
You're eating worms, Michael.
Your biscotti.
Your biscotti is worms, Michael.
Let's see.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's how I'm going to get back to Kevin Bacon now every time because Brad Pitt's been in everything.
Kiefer was in a bunch of stuff with, Kiefer Sutherland too. Yeah, fuck. For some reason, I thought Lou Diamond Phillips was in fucking.
Oh shit! And Robert De Niro is in Sleepers also.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So-
That's like why Sleepers is like because it's got
It's
yeah,
that's gold right there.
it's gold.
That's almost JFK is the big
Sleeper. So in this order of importance, JFK, A Few Good Men, Sleepers, because JFK has so many JFK's got Donald Sutherland. Donald Sutherland's like the gateway drug to any old actor.
Mhm.
Older, sorry, Donald.
He's like 112. I'm sure he's fine
Yeah.
being called old.
You can get right up in fucking Jennifer Lawrence through fucking Donald Sutherland. You know what I mean? Just fucking like boom.
Which movie?
Fucking all of the fucking
Hunger Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bam.
JFK, baby. And it's got Samuel L. Jackson. It's got Steve Buscemi. Not Steve Buscemi, sorry, Joe Pesci. That other motherfucker.
But you also need somebody like a De Niro who's done comedic roles to get to, like, if you throw something like, Adam Sandler to, Orson Welles or something.
Yeah,
like
Ben
you gotta-
Stiller. Like how to get
Yeah,
the,
that's
Kevin
what I'm
Bacon.
So
Yeah,
how do we
you
get
gotta-
Michael Keaton to Kevin Bacon?
I'm gonna go.
What's your route?
Oh, Michael Keaton, Batman, with fucking Jack Nicholson to A Few Good Men.
There you go. That's pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's one
what's that, two?
step.
No, well, oh yeah,
One
yeah,
movie.
2 links. Okay, let's see.
Go with a smile.
What about
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Yeah. You are my number one a guy.
Never Rub Another Man's Rhubarb?
That's right.
What about
Prince to Kevin Bacon in one move.
in one?
Bat
I don't know.
Purple Rain. Oh yeah, that's not. He
Yeah.
wasn't in it.
Get the funk up.
He didn't act in that.
You don't know.
Did he have a concert scene or anything? Sometimes they like
No.
they'll have like they'll have like a chase and they'll run into
Yeah.
into like a music venue.
And Guar will be playing or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like Vanilla Ice and Ninja Turtles 2?
Yeah. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go
Ninja,
ninja, go ninja, go.
James just messaged me.
James is like, in this now.
No, he's like, how was versus?
Still going on, James.
Was?
Tell him to name 2 actors.
2 Canucks.
Was? What do you mean was?
Mm.
Come on.
Fred Asparagus.
Was? What the fuck is was? How was versus?
Was not was.
Is good. Is going great. Is great. Was.
Great. Fred Asparagus, Clint.
Fred Asparagus. Do I want to go Spinal Tap or do I want to go Three Amigos?
Me
Who
all
is
the
Fred
three
Asparagus?
amigos.
Because Spinal Tap, I can go Fred Willard.
No, dude. You go straight through. What's his name from Best in Show? The Six-Fingered Man. He's the guy that wrote Best in Show. Married to Jamie Lee Curtis. He's Nigel in Spinal Tap.
Yeah. Why didn't you just say that?
He's in A Few Good Men.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Fucking done.
One move.
Step into my office.
Why? Because you're fucking fired. Where's the challenge in that one?
Yeah.
So,
Well, of course you can do the one that you picked, dude. Wow,
yeah,
Dustin.
where's the
Yeah.
challenge in that?
I was just trying to find ones that I couldn't think.
Yeah.
I'm like, surely not Fred Asparagus. Tequila is like beer.
So out of all four of these movies, which one was your favorite? I know it's not apples and apples. It's apples and oranges.
I mean, it's a toss-up for me between Beetlejuice and Tremors.
Fuck.
Probably Beetlejuice. I mean,
You didn't
the
like
new
the
Dune
new
was
Dune?
awesome. I did. It was very good, but I'm not going to watch it every year, or every other
Okay,
year.
that's fair.
Like
I'm
so
with Bobby.
yeah.
I very much enjoyed how beautifully made the new Dune was, but like Beetlejuice actually brought me joy. Like it uplifted my mood. It wasn't like, oh, this is pretty cool, but I was just like, yeah, like I get excited. I was like, there's only
It's
a
like
few
comfort food for your eyes.
Totally,
Yeah.
dude. It was like eating a nice piece of like strawberry cheesecake that's like I haven't had cheesecake in 2 years, and then I've like, oh my god, this is amazing. Or some like I love ice cream, every now and then I'll get I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing milkshake or something. It was after a long stint, like when you haven't had an amazing burger for years, and then you have this is the best tasting thing ever. Like every now and then there's these wonderful things that bring joy, and Beetlejuice is one of those things.
Like Sting down there.
Yeah, like seeing Sting
Yeah.
all oiled up. It just brings joy to my heart, It's like Willy
Yeah.
Wonka and the Princess Bride. Totally.
Ooh, good way to go, Bobby. Yeah, that's a
Wow,
good one. Yeah,
Bobby.
exactly. Anytime I put them on,
That's right.
those are great. Yeah, I probably got to go Beetlejuice too. Tremors is right up there for me, but I definitely watch Beetlejuice probably once a year. Tremors close to it, but probably like
I'd
every
take Beetlejuice over Tremors. Tremors is great
Yeah.
for originality's sake, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Tremors is great original creature feature. Beetlejuice is just it's got creatures, it's a good comedy, it's a good
yeah,
I mean, all around, man.
great Halloween movie.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing you can I'd show my kids Tremors, but you can definitely show Beetlejuice to your kids and
Yeah.
you'll be fine. And so
What's that?
I don't know. I think I may have
Sound like he was reading you the riot act.
he said
What's that about?
He said it said you were going live in 30 minutes at 6 a.m. What's that all about? I have a feeling I might have set the live stream for 8 a.m. instead of 8 p.m.
Oh shit.
and that's why it didn't work. Ah,
Gotcha.
that makes so much
sense.
sense now. No wonder Facebook didn't work. They're like, dude, you're like 12 hours late for your stream.
Yeah.
We're not putting you on.
Sorry, no retake on that test.
Yes.
So what else, dudes?
Bobby
says you
said I
That's
did.
what you did.
Haha.
Yep.
Just so you know, I'm never going to be awake at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I will
so, yeah, I'll definitely
please
not be going
message.
live. Definitely not going live. If I got to make a road trip or like going home for Thanksgiving or something, maybe I'll get up real early and do that. But you're not going to catch me on.
It's
online.
so cute how you think 8 a.m. is real early.
Yeah. I've been up at 5 and 6 wearing a baby.
I was up at 7 day before yesterday, still drinking tequila at
Yeah.
7. Yeah. Yeah, still got it.
Tequila.
I was watching Midnight Metal,
All right.
Robert Meyer Burnett's show, and yeah, I was up till I was at,
All night long.
yeah, whatever it was. I set the I must have set it up early, wrong.
Hey, dude, is anybody excited about the Elvira coming out?
What is it? Tell me about
It's
it.
like an Elvira
I don't know about it.
series or something.
Is it a series
Coming
or is
soon.
it?
Let's see. Do. I wonder if I'm talking now to my ass. Elvira.
I like Elvira.
My heart is
Is it
on
gonna be the same?
fire.
Is it gonna be the same Elvira actress?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because she looks exactly the same as she did in the early
she's holding
80s.
up, dude. Cassandra Peterson.
On Shudder, the 40th anniversary of Elvira on Shudder.
Hail to the yeah.
James schooled you, dude. You're way too slow.
James. Are you excited about that, James? I am.
Yeah, now that I know about it, I'm excited.
Dude, I watched the
That's
shit
awesome.
out of some Elvira.
Hell yeah.
They had like a bunch of video cassettes. Like there were different volumes. They had like, like stories about ghouls, different stuff. It was pretty cool.
Well, her just a heads up, I got Peacock so that I could watch Halloween Kills, but they've
You got Peacock?
I did.
Just kidding.
Peacock.
For this month. I've got it for the rest of the month. They've got all the, I don't know about all, but they've got several Elvira movies and her Mistress of the Dark, her actual movie.
Oh, cool.
There. So
Bad ass.
welcome, Spooky Bats.
Yeah, Spooks, what's up? They it's funny because they were like people would rather go to the movies, put themselves in danger than get Peacock. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about how the numbers for Halloween Kills were so great at the theater. They're like, you know what this means? Instead of being like, oh, this is an awesome movie, they're like, it means nobody's got Peacock.
Yeah, it means
nobody's paying for Peacock.
Super hilarious.
they could have named it something different,
Yeah.
Yeah,
They could have.
Kind of dumb.
I'm like looking at this thing.
So,
So
James or Spooky, since y'all are coming in late, name 2 actors or actresses. Just randomly.
We're going to try to.
And when I say randomly, I mean
we're going to try to figure out how they're known by Kevin Bacon biblically. Show me the smile again.
Show me this.
Yeah, we're on a delay, so let's see here, and I'm looking something up.
We've reached a lull in the conversation, Curtis. Doesn't happen very often. I've enjoyed the silence with you.
I think
it's a comfortable silence.
I as well.
I felt.
Yes.
Enjoy the silence.
To be
Gal
broken.
Gadot to Zendaya. How can we link them?
The Kevin Bacon link?
No, I think Gal Gadot to Zendaya. But we can do it to Kevin Bacon.
Let's see, Gal Gadot.
Melissa Joan Hart. Ooh, that's a tough.
Zendaya was in a movie with.
Gal Gadot's in the Fast and the Furious, and there's
Is
fucking
she?
everybody in that. Yep, she's in number.
She's also in Wonder Woman with
and a couple
Chris Pine.
Yeah, I was gonna go.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna go try to work backwards somehow using The Rock.
She's also in Wonder Woman 1984 with Kristen Wiig.
Ooh, Kristen Wiig.
She's also in Justice League with Ben Affleck.
And then also, what was that movie she did where she played a spy and Galifianakis was in it.
Don't remember.
Nobody remembers that.
Dude, that's a good one. Who said Zendaya? And that's a fucking
Zendaya to Gal Gadot.
that's a
For
fucking
2 new
showstopper.
actors, let's see. Zendaya was in Spider-Man. She was in Dune. But see, that's the thing. We can get it if you get to the Spider-Man
Oh
movies.
yeah, Jason Momoa is the link between Gal Gadot and
there you
Zendaya.
go. One
Yep.
step.
Oh, there you go. One step.
Yep. And then you can get back to Kevin Bacon by route of how do you get to back to Kevin Bacon using
from the new Dune?
Yeah.
Or from the new Dune?
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Yeah. What's his name that was in Star Wars with
Poe Dameron, yeah. Okay.
With Laura Dern, and you go Laura Dern to I just thought of some movie with Laura Dern and Kevin Bacon. I can't think now. Jurassic Park with Samuel L. Jackson to Kevin Bacon and A Few Good Men.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry, JFK. Yeah. Because I was thinking about, I was like, also Samuel L. Jackson was in, if somebody said some other Marvel thing, like I would have connected Jeff Goldblum, Samuel L. Jackson to whoever. Because Jeff Goldblum.
Well, the thing about the Marvel movies and or any Marvel property is that because of the Stan Lee cameos, you can always use that and like jump to fucking any actor in the history of the world. Like, but it's almost a cheat, but
yeah, but that Laura Dern is a trick to get to the Dune actor that's plays Poe.
Well, what movie was that?
That was the second Star Wars
no, but
sequel trilogy.
She was in
Jurassic Park
with Sam Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, who was in JFK with Samuel L. Jackson. Boom! Zendaya!
Zendaya to see Thomas Howell.
Oh, let me figure out. My favorite way would be.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna go ahead and go through Red Dawn, who what was that actress? Leah Thompson was in Red
Leah
Dawn.
Thompson was in the Red Dawn. Yeah.
You could also go Peaceways. You could go Charlie Sheen.
Yes. You could go Jennifer Grey.
Powers Booth. Huh.
So we should probably work on Zendaya first. Zendaya was in.
So let's use Zendaya in Star Wars or Dune.
Ooh. Wait. Yes. Zendaya in Dune Brolin was in Dune, who was in Goonies, who was in he was in a lot of those movies at the time. So let's see.
Brolin was in Goonies? Why can't I remember who he was?
He's the older brother.
Oh, okay.
That they tie up with the thing.
Yeah.
With the spring things.
That's right.
So that's Sean Astin. So you got Lord of the Rings there, which can get you almost anywhere.
So what was it? Zendaya and who?
Zendaya and Brolin are in Dune together.
Right. Who were you trying to get to? To Kevin Bacon?
Oh, to shit. Who? Oh, C. Thomas Howell.
Oh, C. Thomas Howell.
He was also in Outsiders, so there's Emilio in that one.
That's right. And Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio, yeah.
So
He was in Karate Kid with
yeah.
Paul Morita.
Mm.
Pat Morita. Um,
We're trying to do Zendaya
Oh.
and C. Thomas Howell.
Let's see.
I can do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was saying go through Red Dawn.
Rob Lowe was also in The Outsiders.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if that
So
helps.
was P. Swayze
Yes.
was also in The Outsiders.
Yeah.
Was Matt Damon? Not Matt Damon. Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon was, yes, he was.
Or
in The
was he in
Outsiders,
Rumblefish? And I'm conflating.
No, he was. I think he was in both.
Okay.
He was definitely in The Outsiders though. Matt Dillon was in You, Me, and he was in. I don't know if this helps any, but Something About Mary.
Yeah.
You, Me, and Dupree with Owen Wilson.
He was in Wild Things.
He was in Wild Things.
We're fucking like spinning out of control here, Curtis.
That's all right.
So, C. Thomas Howell.
C. Thomas Howell was in. He's been in a lot of B movies.
You could go. C. Thomas Howell was in. Was he in a movie with James Spader?
Dude! Oh, wait. Tom Cruise. Oh, no, we're not trying to get... Tom Cruise was in the original Outsiders as well.
Yeah, that's right.
But that gets us back to Bacon. But I bet you that's going to help us. That's going to get us where we need to go.
C. Thomas Howell was.
He's Pony Boy
He's
Curtis.
the guy that screams Wolverines. Wolverines!
And or J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
He's in Red Dawn with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So I bet you Tom Cruise is going to get us there. Let's see. Tom Cruise.
Let's just.
Yeah. He's in E.T. with Drew Barrymore.
C. Thomas? No, he's not.
He's one of the brothers' friends.
Oh, is he?
I think, yeah. He and not a big part, but he's one of the brothers' friends. Well, I mean, I think. You looking it up, man, or you're just remembering that?
I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay.
Come on, help me out. Help me out, Sting.
Now,
save me, Sting.
We need your crotch powers now more than ever, Sting.
Yeah, don't stand so fucking close to me. Sting.
I got a real short. I got a real short one.
Yeah.
I just said publicly.
That's what she said. Sting. That's what Sting said. Got a little stinger.
Hold on a second here. I gotta look this up.
Tom Cruise was in A Few Good Men.
Yep.
But
we're trying to connect Zendaya and C. Thomas Howell. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. No,
you go. You did it. You fucking did it. Woo!
Who did it?
How did
Curtis
I do it? Let me think.
Tom Cruise is in A Few Good Men. And C. Thomas Howell is in The Outsiders. And also Kevin Bacon is in A Few Good Men. Links right back to Zendaya.
I have a shorter way.
Wait, how does Kevin Bacon get to Zendaya?
He's in A Few Good Men.
I know, but how does he get to Zendaya?
C. Thomas Howell was in The Amazing Spider-Man, and Jamie Foxx is going to be in the new Spider-Man.
Wait, C. Thomas Howell was in The Amazing Spider-Man?
According to Google.
What did he play?
He played Ray. What's funny is Jamie Foxx played Ray. Just kidding. He's listed in the Amazing Spider-Man credits, and with the new Spider-Verse, you're gonna have Jamie Foxx in the new Spider-Man.
You know, the older C. Thomas Howell gets, the more he looks like Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, dude, spitting image.
I don't Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen him in a while.
Right? I mean, he's looks like shoe leather right there, but Johnny Knoxville doesn't look like fucking spring chicken either. What do you want? Yeah, look, hold that one
There you
up to
go.
the cam.
Hey,
Ronnie Knoxville.
dude, with the shitty camera angle, it
Yeah.
looks even more like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curtis is like, fuck
He's like,
this,
"Fuck
I'm
you guys,
out.
I'm out. Hey, we're down to 3 viewers.
Yeah.
Thanks. Roberta or Bobby Anderson's still here. She's like, fucking support your channel, but y'all suck.
Yeah. We kind of ran out. We're talking about worms.
Yeah, we were talking. This is the Worms episode. Now, how does Mandalorian compare?
That's my favorite one.
That's
The
the
Crate and Dragon.
yeah. I agree with you.
I don't know why, but I often think of Mando holding the leash of that fucking, what are those things called that the Sand People ride? The Tusken Raiders ride?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
With
remember.
all those fucking like explosives strapped to it. Like he's just like sitting there like that fucking thing is a big Pomeranian with fucking hand grenades strapped to it.
That was a really good episode, and that was cool because he's like in there and he's going "Roop, roop, roop," like speaking their language
Yeah,
and
he
stuff.
was doing it like the old Indian Sign Language westerns. That was one of the most Western, Mandalorian's a Western pretty much.
Yeah.
A serialized Western like the Lone Ranger or some shit. And that was like really cool. I thought it really actually made the Tusken Raiders cool because previous to that, you really didn't have any empathy for the Tusken Raiders. I mean, Anakin Skywalker could slaughter fucking Tusken Raider babies, and you're like,
fuck them, they're Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, fuck them,
No, they
killed his mom, whatever.
It did make them cool. Like,
Yeah.
they're communicating and they're just people doing their thing. And
Yeah.
like
They're
like Jawas or
yeah,
anything
they're like
else.
an honor-based,
Mhm.
Really made Jawas kind of badasses too. The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
they're like whipping his ass when he's like trying to climb up the side of that thing. That was awesome.
Curtis, you're fucking up, dude. You need to watch that show.
Yeah.
I want to watch that show.
I
but
mean,
now I'm
dude,
gonna watch that.
You want me to talk to your son and be like, look, kid, like your dad's got to watch this show. So you need to just back off and let him watch it.
No, I've already told him I'm gonna watch it without him. It's just getting around to actually watching it.
The
like it.
Mandalorian theme is at least as cool as the theme to Good and the Bad, the Ugly.
I thought you were going to say Beetlejuice. I was going to
Yeah.
say, watch it, pal.
That wah, wah, wah.
Boo, doo, 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 doo.
Do-dum, 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 do-dum.
Yeah, it's pretty odd. They did a really good job with that show. Mandalorian's clearly ridiculously good. I'm excited about the new stuff.
All the like kind of minor characters of Star Wars you just kind of like passed over and didn't really give a shit about. They really made those characters cool. Like the bounty hunter robot.
Mhm.
You understand now, you're like, holy shit, that thing's probably one of the most dangerous things in Star Wars. Period. Like
That's what.
Like the tin hat, like the Tin Man looking thing
Yeah.
with the elongated like. There were some stupid droids where you're like they were always background
Yeah.
characters and like they're like cool we're gonna put this up here in the front.
Yeah. It was fucking cool.
Oh, Bobby, you gotta get on that.
Don't worry, Bobby. We'll catch up one of these
Worry.
days, and then we'll be talking
Worry,
about it.
Bobby. You're gonna watch
then
this
everybody-
show.
Bobby, you for sure don't even have to like Star Wars to really like this show.
You're gonna watch the show and you're gonna be like, why haven't I seen this yet? It's really good.
Yeah.
Fantastic show.
It's very good. It's very, from what I've seen, it's very good. It's just,
It's so good. I
actually
wanted to call the
getting that
new
time to
band
look.
name This Is the Way. I was like, once I heard that, I was just like, I was totally
is
just
this the
like,
way?
This is the way.
It's the
Because-
slogan of the
Yeah.
show.
If this is it,
This is the
please
way.
let me know.
Okay.
If this ain't love, baby, just say so.
Oh, dude, Curtis, have you seen what is it? The Huey Lewis and the News meets Metallica?
I have not. I don't know
Inner
what that is.
Sandman.
I don't remember the thing.
The mashup.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Dustin got into these mashups for a while, and there's some really good
It's
ones.
like blowing my mind. It was like
there's some really good ones.
Metallica's vocals set to like Huey Lewis. Which song was it?
Man, I just fixed your color. You looked blue before.
Me?
Yeah, but now you look like a human.
I don't mind, man.
You look like a.
I looked like a
Daywalker.
Harkonian,
Yeah.
like a Sarsgaard, like Sting on statins.
Just like him.
Yeah.
Nice pants, bro.
Swing. He's like swing, swing.
Swing, swing.
Yeah.
I was telling Clint, it looks like he put something there to censor Sting. Like it doesn't even look like real underwear. Like looks like
Hi,
he's
he
got,
put something on
he's
there to
got his twig and berries. He's got a dove covering his twig and berries.
censor. Right.
Yeah.
How important do you have to be where somebody makes you dove underwear?
Yeah, man. Fucking Sting.
I have finished his new Dove cod piece.
Yes. My cod piece. Malaco Velocet. Yeah, get a little. Don't stand so close to me.
Don't stand so close to me. Yeah, I
Nice
like
licking,
having
that's
Sting
not
on the show.
sweat.
Yeah, me too.
Oh boy.
Did you say wet? Estoy mojado.
Okay.
So
So-
wet.
I am wet.
So we got tonight on the old man. We went totally off the rails today,
Oh yeah,
but
we
it's
never
okay.
do that.
No, we never.
Well,
did.
we finished all the.
We did. We talked
you
about
know?
all the good stuff. So what do we talk about?
This is all fucking bonus now. Kind of looks
Wow.
like the Eye of Sauron. as
that was how
well.
long we were going to look at that worm, but
Yeah.
you.
Yo,
That's right.
talking
so-
about wormholes. Hey-o.
Hi-oh!
Yeah. Oh, and uh-huh. So in recap, this was painful to watch. This was a joy to watch. It was difficult in the beginning, but turned out to be a lot of fun to watch.
And then.
And this brought joy to my heart and soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved everything about it. You want to talk about some news?
Yeah, man. Hit me with some news.
Get some news here sooner or later. Other news. What else we got? Okay, this is where I go to my text messages to myself.
Is there anything in the news about Sting? What's he been up to lately?
No, there's a lot of.
Did he finally put clothes on?
Yeah.
Disney announces MCU cruise show featuring Paul Rudd, Brie Larson, and more actors.
Cruise show, like on a boat?
Yeah, I'm on a boat. Yeah, let's read this real quick. I didn't even read this.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
We've really run out of show ideas.
I'm wondering if this means they're going to go on a cruise and you can go on a Disney cruise with those people.
With those people?
They're like, hey, here's the
I
deal.
am going
Come
to.
get COVID on a boat with Paul Rudd and fucking Brie Larson.
I am going to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a ticket for that just so I can go on this cruise. Because the cruise is, what, 7 days? And I can talk to Paul Rudd about the curse of Michael Myers for 7 days
Yeah.
straight. And just not, like,
I'm going to walk around
Done.
and going, slap at the base.
Let's see. Marvel Studios is enjoying a great stretch of content releases thanks to Eternals' imminent debut and the hype building for Spider-Man's threequel and the Doctor Strange sequel. Among others, this endeavor is also helping Marvel's parent company, Disney, in a big way too. As Disney theme parks and attractions worldwide are able to use the MCU in a new exciting way for fans.
It's best described.
Most prominent, this is from The Direct is the source. sponsored by Mike Zero. Most prominently, this comes with Avengers Campus at Disney's California Adventures, which gives Southern California visitors a fully immersive experience in a real-world reaction of the MCU's biggest moments. Parkgoers are already raving about the land's big attractions, web slingers, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Giving riders a chance to go full Spider-Man and stop an army of rogue spider bots, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, the other blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now a new experience is on its way aboard the Disney Wish cruise ship. All right. In the form of Worlds of Marvel, a new dining experience in which fans will take a deep dive into various Marvel lands. Additionally, new details are coming to light about some special guest appearances that will come with this attraction. Ant-Man and Captain Marvel take the seas. The Disney Parks blog revealed that the World of Marvel's dining experience on the Disney Wish cruise ship will feature multiple MCU stars as a part of the real-life Avengers mission. I bet you they have Evangeline Lilly, because she lives in Hawaii. She'll probably ride the cruise from California to Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The show, entitled Avengers Quantum Encounter, will include Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, and Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp. Also, lending voice talents to their roles are Carrie Condon as Friday and Ross Marquez as Ultron. Okay, which they played those characters. And what if the show will feature Ant-Man and the Wasp presenting powerful superhero tech, including a demonstration of new PIM tech before Ultron and an army of sentries take control of it. The miniature heroes turn to Captain America, Captain Marvel, and fans dining in the restaurant for backup, and there are even rumors of other unknown heroes joining the fray as well. Yeah, this is crazy.
This is the most Bush League shit I've ever heard of in my whole entire 46 years and change. That they're going to be up there doing fucking dinner theater.
The restaurant is designed with hundreds of video screens and special effects all across the restaurant, which have already been shot and are now in post-production for editing. This is all taking place while Disney Wish is under construction, and the show will officially debut summer of 2022.
It's probably only going to be Saudi princes and Jeff Bezos in the fucking audience, the only people that can afford that shit. Like, I can't imagine it's fucking Lou from down the street, hey, it's Gabats in here.
Yeah, that's
See
weird.
Paul
Hey,
Rudd.
where's the fucking Hulk?
Hey,
the fucking Hulk, and
where
this is over.
Where's
the
fucking
Hulk?
Thor? I paid $8.50 to be up in here eating lobster tail. Where's Thor? Yeah, dude.
That's
the Great Reset is upon us. That's they're launching this fucking cruise ship with yeah, dude, times are fucking rough.
Yeah, Dune opening weekend, HBO Max viewership topped Justice League and In the Heights. We already knew that.
It's gonna be goddamn fucking actors that are completely lushed out on booze, just I'm fucking Ant-Man.
See Thomas Howell?
Yeah, I'm fucking Ant-Man. All right. They'll probably cigarette boat him in, get on for a minute, and be like, "Woo, I'm fucking Ant-Man." Fucking boat him out.
No, yeah, he walks in. No, he walks in and says 3 lines, and then some guy in the suit, some other guy in the suit, walks out and plays him for the rest of the time.
If I'm not mistaken, they do this shit already at Six Flags, right? Where they have the fucking man. Could you imagine if this fucking Disney has got them by the balls so fucking tight that they can make them do fucking little song and dance on a cruise ship?
Yeah,
you got to be looking at your fucking agent.
I mean, it's Paul Rudd and Brie Larson. It's not like it's fucking
he's about to be in Ghostbusters.
Right? Brie Larson, I get she's got nothing else going on, but Paul Rudd could be.
I guess, but you'd think that. Fuck, man, I don't know. Who am I to say?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to go. I didn't necessarily want to go here, but then, because I thought it was kind of clickbaity. But then there's
Warren Beatty. It's pronounced Warren.
yeah,
Warren
but
Beatty.
I was thinking that too, Curtis.
But there's been other details that have surfaced with the Rust set with Alec Baldwin and the shooting,
Yeah.
the terrible tragic shooting of the cinematographer dying and the director getting shot in the clavicle, the director and Alec Baldwin firing a hot gun. And he was doing one of those shots where he was aiming for, like, go ahead and make my day, and didn't know there was a live round. And you guys have all heard; it's been all over the media. Everybody's heard,
Right.
and I know you've heard. I'm really talking to the audience at home, but it's a terrible thing. But like, and there's been people getting political and using this as to be a douchebag and with a terrible situation and. These are human beings, human life that's lost. But now there's been some interesting developments to where there's been reportedly been reports that there was crew members that were plinking, target practicing with these guns like before, like earlier in the day. Hey, let's go shoot, which sounds like a total, like if I was out in the middle of the Old West, out in the middle of nowhere, I could see going out and shooting some cans out there, like you're out in the middle of the desert. That's kind of what people do out in the desert. They shoot cans. But the idea that somebody wasn't double checking like, first of all, you shouldn't be target practicing in the same area as like, that's ridiculous. But I can fathom that happening. But the idea that the armorer did not check the weapons, and also there was a report, and again, I don't know if these how substantiated these claims are, but I heard that I read a thing in Daily Mail earlier, and it said that they found real rounds, live rounds with blanks in the same fanny pack, like being kept together. Granted, they look different, but still, there's no excuse for having live rounds out there. And if somebody's gonna go out at you better keep those rounds in your glove box, and then don't be putting them in the same bag.
I wouldn't fucking have them on the facility anywhere. There would be no. If I was filming a film where first of all, there's no such thing as a prop gun.
Yes.
That's an operational firearm. There's no distinction between, like, there's prop guns that are made of plastic or rubber that are not operational. But that's like saying it's a prop fucking chainsaw when it's a real chainsaw, or it's a prop motor vehicle. It may be a prop, but here's my analogy. If there was some Fast and the Furious like fucking stunt that involved a car that had to be in perfect condition to flip over something and like land or do something, I would not be out fucking joyriding that
doing
car
donuts out
earlier in the day with that fucking car.
Exactly.
And
But
what were you going to say?
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Finish.
Oh, being a firearms guy personally too, I think it's a misconception with people that aren't into, quote unquote, into guns, that they think guns can just go off. Guns do not go off. They're a piece of machinery, especially not that gun. That type of gun does not go off. That gun can only be fired if the hammer is pulled back and there's something in the chamber and the trigger's pulled after the hammer is back. So you have to do at least 3 different things for that gun to go off. And it is all dependent on, having real ammunition or blank ammunition. If I'm producing that on that set, I don't have a single fucking live round, period. And everything is double checked. And how about actors too have to empty their pockets and shit before you even go? It's a serious fucking thing. It's like getting into a plane. It's like getting in a stunt where you've got a parachute out of the plane and not fucking double checking the chute before you parachute with that. It's a fucking life or death stunt, like jumping out of a plane to aim a gun into a camera and pull the trigger.
Dude, I get nervous when people aim Nerf guns and toys at me.
I don't like that
I'm like,
shit
hey,
either.
Dude, don't do that.
You don't want to get into that habit of doing that.
No.
What I don't get, like, to me, it's somebody died, and this is sad. It's terrible, but to me, it's kind of like the whole argument is a moot point. You're telling me in 2022 we can't make a gun that only fires blanks?
Yes,
Like,
they have those. They're called starter pistols, and you definitely can do that. And they definitely actually have replica pistols that shoot blanks. And also, there's several different ways, Curtis, where you could. There's a type of thing in firearms training called force on force, and they're called FX rounds, where they actually have a charge in them, but they shoot like a wax bullet. It's a marking cartridge that like marks you. Well, it still reciprocates the firearm and makes a flash and everything,
Right.
but it's less of a charge. So with CGI and shit, you could have these.
By the way, we got James in here with us too. So
You
continue
could
what you're
do
saying.
you could do airsoft and then use CGI. There's a million things you could do, or you could just use. You use a
Go
real
ahead.
car. You could just use a gun with it and have the proper armor, just like you'd have the proper stunt coordinator.
But this is, I mean, you're right. I mean, but you're still relying on people to do their jobs, and we know like not everybody's going to do their job. Somebody didn't do their job here. I don't know who it was, but somebody didn't. It
They're
should
just
be
not
a
taking
dummy
it
proof
serious
where
enough.
where
I
it
guarantee.
cannot.
There's that David Hall's guy. That David Hall's guy who had like prior complaints on what he did on set.
Yeah.
Can't remember the show. He said it was a cold gun, but it wasn't. He was just in a hurry to get the scene done. Apparently, that's what I read.
Yeah, and also the from what I hear, the armorer, she was not taking things very seriously. I mean, if you're having people out there firing your guns out in the desert, you're not doing your job right. She's the one who loaded the gun too, and I mean, it's not good. It
should be a moot point. There should not be a gun that can fire a live round. It should on a set. Like you're not allowed to have on a real set. You're not allowed to have a real knife. Like you can't do that. Like it
needs to be cleared by everyone that changes hands with it, and it wasn't cleared.
There's like a chain of custody of it.
But I mean, it shouldn't. Like there should be no way that it can actually shoot a live round.
Living in the future like we do. They should. I mean, I know they have guns that work on air, that move, that recoil and stuff. And I guess you gotta CG the flash coming out of it. You know what I mean? But they make guns that do that. You would think.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, in
a dummy round doesn't have an actual bullet head on it. It doesn't have it's and so make the chamber to where you can't fit something that's longer that has an actual bullet head in there. Like
you do if it's going to have percussion. The way it mechanically works, it's got to be able to off gas, or it could create a
blow up in your hand.
It's called a catastrophic failure, where it can piece of the gun can blow back on you or off, or basically becomes like a fragmentation grenade. And similar things have happened on sets before, actually. Like, they don't know if like it was actually a bullet that killed Brandon Lee. It might have
I've
been
heard that dummies can,
a squib round particulate that is stuck in the barrel, and it takes enough shots, and finally there's enough force and percussion to expel that, and that does happen. But again, between each shot, I'm the armorer. I don't want to say it's because they weren't gun people and didn't take it enough seriously, like deadly serious. You know what I mean? But
I want to say that.
But that shit didn't happen on John Wick, and they were fucking using all kinds of crazy guns. But the people that do those movies really take it seriously. And it might have been because it's a period piece that they're like, we're going to be using old guns. We just won't have bullets. And they're revolvers. But I mean, it's fucking the same bullet. It's a 30 caliber round, fired at 1,200 to 1,800 feet per second. It's like when that bullet leaves the gun, it's a John Wick fucking bullet, whether it came out of a, Old West revolver or out of a fucking, semi-auto pistol. So it needs, I would take it as seriously as you would a potentially deadly car stunt or a potentially deadly jumping out of a plane stunt. It's really got to be checked and double checked. And, you know, you can't take any of those fucking bullets back, obviously, that they've found out, you know. It's like, but you're right, Curtis. Those things that I'm talking about that are training devices, they call them FX rounds, and a real shell won't chamber in one of those guns. It'll be out of battery. And you'll be like, what's wrong here? And it's because the round is shaped differently. It's slightly different tolerances. And you're absolutely right. That would be great. That would become a new cottage industry to like retrofit some of these, you know, antique guns to where they only chamber these FX rounds.
Because otherwise you're still leaving it up to humans. And I know you would take it that seriously.
Yeah.
And I know most people in the industry do. But there's always going to be some guy who's like, this is my big break, or this is my job. The boss says do it. Let's get it
Right.
done. And, you know, it's on his ass anyway because he told me to do it. And it's like people could die.
Absolutely.
You can't leave that shit up to humans. If it can't go in there, then like the problem's solved.
Right.
So I don't know why this is still a thing. I mean, sadly, like, yeah, there's plenty of other options. And even if it is all digital, we can kind of tell when it's all digital nowadays. But regardless, like most people can't. Like, and I don't even know if I could on some movie, you know.
The
like
the rookie. It's a Nathan Fillion show.
Yeah.
They just said today they're not going to have any more real guns on their set anymore. Period.
That's ridiculous.
Like they're like.
I feel like somebody with like dyed green hair and a fanny pack fucking it up for film for all time into, you know, infinity. It's like this level of negligence. It would be just like a car crash that somebody fucked up, and then they're never going to have a car chase on film again.
Okay, but the rookie deciding to use not real guns, that's him being innovative, right? Like Curtis is talking about, and stepping forward. It's a television show that could do that. It's not a mandate on the industry. So they're not saying not everyone can use not real guns.
But it's a procedural show with guns. I mean, that's fine. And that show is good enough that I can suspend disbelief for that. But if you know what I mean? It's like I don't know. See, it's probably hard too. If you're not a firearms enthusiast, you probably think, oh, these fucking killing machines. But I mean, cars, planes, all kinds of shit kill people in movies. You know, helicopters and negligence, gross negligence of this shit. And it's never brought up that, oh, we're never going to have horses in a movie again. You know, this fucking horse, like, guy riding a horse like an asshole. The horse falls over on him and kills him.
No, wait. But the idea is that we don't have a viable option for a fake horse.
Sure you do.
Like,
you got fucking green screen. I mean, I saw fucking Centaurs in Harry Potter.
Well,
that's fucking does the same thing for me as like, what's that?
After Michael Cimino did Heaven's Gate, man, like that's where the whole and
is he the one that shot
the
himself?
Animal Society came in.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? The Animal Society came in and said, "Hey, okay, now you guys got to treat horses.
Yeah,
there's so many horses that died and were damaged in that film. It's called evolution, right? And the problem with what happened on Rust is because it was the chain of custody and they were sloppy. You know, it changed hands 3 times before it went to Alec Baldwin. It should have been cleared, right?
And
and you can't blame other productions for taking that chance out of the equation.
This should it should be I think it's
the chance should have never been in the equation. Though.
Yeah, I think as long maybe if they're not mandating that for everybody, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, film at your own risk, and if you're going to be negligent, then you're going to be shut down or sued, or you know, and
that's fair, but it doesn't help you if you're dead.
But it doesn't bring the life back.
Yeah, well, we're not time traveling. I think it's fucking terrible, and I think the people all around, the people who hired them have to be held responsible. The people that were negligent. What is it, Hannah Gutierrez Reed? She's the armorer. That was her job. She's a 24-year-old. I'm not saying what you can and can't do, and how experienced a 24-year-old can be, but for me, I can think of how I was when I was 24, And to think that somebody who's 24 is out there target shooting with crew members before on the off hours of a production, that shouldn't be happening. Somebody should have noticed that, and then also, I would have had a minimum of a lot of years of experience. I wouldn't be hiring a young armorer like that, which probably somebody cutting corners. You know what I mean? You have people that are ex-military and ex-police that have been on hundreds of sets, and that practice real safety, and it's crazy to me that they had a 24-year-old target practicing with guns that were going to be used on the same set. If they were a gun enthusiast, because clearly somebody who's an armorer is an experienced gun user, I'm sure they have a couple of guns in their glove compartment or behind their seat in their truck that they could bust out for target practice. But the idea that somebody would be target practicing with the same guns that would be used in a production is completely insane. And then the fact that you would do that and then not thoroughly check and check again and check again, like
it's a revolver too.
It's fucking crazy. And a revolver's not that hard to. I could see a gun that has a magazine accidentally having one left in the chamber and the magazine got removed and it was a mishap. But a fucking revolver, that is complete negligence, because that is not hard to see when there's a round in a revolver. That's insane to me. I can't even believe that. Not only the armorer, how did the AD not catch that? You know what I mean? Like,
also, there's also different ways, James, as you know, as a filmmaker and studying film, just like you would arrange like a car stunt or explosions, any kind of pyrotechnics, there's ways to film the weapon discharging with blanks and then not actually pointing it at a person. Like, there's different angle. You would have to change the way you film something to get a proper stunt with an explosion or a car or something like that. There's all kinds of different ways. So yeah, maybe.
And this was supposed to be a rehearsal. This wasn't even the actual filming part. So they didn't have a shield or anything like that. Like it was supposed to be just a rehearsal, and they gave him a gun that had a live. So that what that tells me. Now I don't know anything. I wasn't there. But that tells me somebody didn't fire all the bullets that were in the gun, and then they just threw it back in the bag with all the other guns. And when they're like, okay, we need a pistol for rehearsal, and they just handed it out and they had a round still in it. That's what that tells me.
It's fucking terrible for Alec. I mean, it's terrible loss of life, but Alec Baldwin, I mean, could you imagine having to fucking live with yourself
forever? That's forever. That's forever. Because somebody was probably talking while they were emptying the bullets in there. One was stuck in there because the gun wasn't oiled very well.
Yeah, actually, those old revolvers, you have to tip them where like the butt of the gun is facing down, and they have like a thing where you go like this and it expends the.
I've got one in the other room.
I mean, this one it has a loading gate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even where the cylinder spins out. They didn't have that until like, the 1918 or something like that. And they actually cracked in half before the cylinder ever spun out. So someone would have to manually empty all of those chambers. But you can open the loading gate and turn the revolver and see that there's no round in there. I mean, you for sure would need to do that after every take, in my opinion.
That's crazy, dude.
And you could take a, just a simple brass rod and run it through the chamber to make sure there's no obstructions or anything, just like a cleaning rod. But it's just like when you do a car crash and somebody's inside the fucking vehicle, you double check and run all your fucking safety checks. It's crazy.
It's crazy. There's going to be more information that comes out about all this, but
total tragedy.
It blows my mind because I'm, we have people that are from England that listen to this. They can't, they don't have guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a normal part of people that live out in the desert, people that live in Texas, like different places. You grow up hunting and with things like that, and you treat it like. I mean, if you've ever been in a gun range and you have an amateur hour guy that walks in there and and like and talking and aims that thing the wrong way or something, dude, they will grab
like,
that
whipping
guy
around.
and they'll throw
Yeah.
his ass out of there. It's like a religion. Like you do not let like, oh, it's ridiculous.
I will say that. Go ahead.
I treat mine like there's a goddamn lightsaber going to infinity coming out of the end of it.
Yeah, that's how it's. That's what
I
it's
actually
like.
I pretend there's a fucking lightsaber. I point it down to move it over here. You know, even if you don't ever treat a gun like it's not unloaded. You always treat a gun like it's loaded. But yeah, it's like, and of course, if you're not a gun person, maybe you're just like, it's just like anything else, and just like any other prop. I mean, there's probably, that the armor probably had a lot of, safety protocols associated with it, but it just wasn't followed that day. I don't want to fucking throw them under the bus. We don't know all the details.
We don't. But like, I grew up. Plinking is what they call it when you're
Yeah.
target practicing. That's called plinking. I grew up doing that. Like that's normal. I can fathom the plinking. I can't fathom I've also been on a set and like, I was on House. There's 50 people in the room. There are people everywhere. There's people on ladders. There's people everywhere. And I had somebody was like trying to blame this on Alec Baldwin.
Oh God, that's fucking
yeah.
terrible.
And he's like, oh yeah, well he should have checked. And I go, dude, have you ever been on a set? He's like, okay, no, you haven't. I was like, I've been on a set before. I was like, I was on an episode of House, and there's 50 people in that room. There's people holding boom stands. There's people holding clipboards. There's people running over and getting the shiny off of you. There's people that come over and they move your collar because the last time your collar was flipped this way. There's people everywhere, and the idea of taking a weapon and not being 500%. 1,000% sure that thing is completely safe is insane to me, and this is what everybody on the news is talking about, and it makes great clickbait. And I didn't want to go down a rabbit hole, but I just figured.
I'm glad we talked about it.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just that I'm
we're not
curious to
talking
hear what
about
Dustin had to say.
I would fucking pat people down. I'll tell you this: we didn't. I did a class where it was.
Real quick. Sting's ready for a pat down.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's ready for a pat down. He's ready for a swing down. But I did a class where it wasn't even force on force. We're not shooting on force. You actually shoot at each other with these things called FX rounds that are marking rounds. They're not like getting hit with a paintball. It's like not fun, but it doesn't like, hurt you. It's not a bullet or whatever.
Right.
But this wasn't even force on force. Everybody was pat down and pockets were turned out. And guns weren't even going to be shot at each other. But just the fact we're in a 3-dimensional situation.
A training situation.
Training situation where it was 3-dimensional. It was no longer 2-dimensional like a flat range where bullets were going one way. The muzzles were going to be pointed at each other.
For those of you who've never been to a gun range, it's like a bowling alley that has dividers, and if they see there's a guy walking around making sure it's always pointed down towards the pins. And if anybody does anything sketchy, they throw you out of there. And
we flagged our weapons with actual flagging tape, and then everybody was pat down. And I tell you something, man, I actually had a round that had like somehow slipped out of a magazine in my back pocket.
Wow.
That one of the, you buddy check each other. And actually it was a SWAT cop that was like, hey, dude, it was like totally like, I thought I was going to get like, I'm like middle-aged. I thought he was going to fucking knock me around a little bit. He was like, I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I'm sorry. It must have like slipped out of the magazine in my back pocket when we were like playing grab ass and, you're rolling around on that. Probably like popped out just in my pocket, but
this is training stuff. This is not stuff everybody does.
But it's a similar situation. It's a controlled environment, like a set, where it's like a house that you're moving through together, and possibly pointing muzzles at each other, depending on the exercise. But everybody's pat down. The weapons are checked. This is like the bare minimum on a situation where you're on an actual movie set and possibly firing, simulation rounds like blanks or something like that, which are still dangerous. Blanks should be treated like bullets. And the actual way you film it and the way you fire at each other, there's a way to train to make it look like you're aiming directly at the person, but you might be shooting over my shoulder. instead of like shooting me in the face.
Yeah, I feel like you could have remote monitors to where the person's not behind the camera necessarily or something. You know what I mean? If you're doing a shot
It's
like that,
just like a pyrotechnics and vehicle stunt where you've got to film it from different angles, and you never do the, you're dancing on the edge of death maybe, but it's a controlled environment, and there's a way to control that even more. But more we talk about it, the more I'm thinking, Curtis, you're right. These are people that are out there that probably never handled a gun in their lives, and it probably wouldn't hurt to have a cottage industry where they retrofit these weapons and make sure that there's cannot possibly chamber an actual live round.
I just think you could make a fucking fake gun that is air powered and weighted in a way that acts and even blows out fire. You telling me that in 2020 we can't make I have a lighter gun in the garage?
Well,
that's
airsoft.
You
You've seen those airsoft.
Yeah, but did they blow out a flash?
No.
You telling me we got fucking rockets landing themselves. You're telling me we can't make a fake gun that's weighted right, that can shoot with a fake flash and has a recoil in it, that doesn't have a little thing that goes that throws the balance off every time? That could totally do that. I don't.
Or what if we manufactured a blank that was a uniform size, that was not a size of any shell or munition in production anywhere in the world? It was some weird, some weird metric size, and like Glock pistols, especially semi-autos, you can easily just remove the barrels. So you have a magazine specially designed that only holds that shell, and a barrel that has enough diameter to let it off gas and do what it needs to do to recoil
to look like a real gun,
and it will only chamber these specifically designed shells, and you could easily retrofit classic guns also. Revolvers would be even easier to do.
That's my point. It's something that shouldn't be a problem anymore. Like, we could do that. We could do all these things that we're talking about.
Yeah,
could have been done. It should be done.
And just like Mimi's in Hollywood, where you could go and the AD can send somebody out and buy a bunch of prosthetic noses. FX houses would have these FX rounds, and they would be a specific caliber that would, maybe they have a big one and a small one to make the different size fire control systems work on either a pistol or a rifle. And I think Curtis is right. If you're going to have people that are like hate guns, being in charge of guns, it's probably a little bit of a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, the armorer, I mean, I again, I don't know enough to know, but I know the armorer's dad was like a legendary gun guy, and they grew up around guns, but like, again, you have a young person. And again, I don't know enough about it to really crucify them, but like,
they're in enough trouble.
Yeah, whoever it was.
That's what I'm saying. They're in some fucking trouble. From what I read, unless the reports that I read are incorrect, they loaded that thing.
Jesus Christ!
And if you loaded that gun and didn't notice there was already a round in there and check it out, you're fucking done, dude. Like, that's bad. Like, that is like. And me, I want to think about myself being 24 and being like, oh yeah, somebody's hungover. Even then, I would have been more. But I'm just saying, what do we got? A bunch of people out. I think I read something else too, where there was some things where, if I remember right, there was a hard time, like a shortage of places to stay around there, and there was some crew people sleeping in their cars. And don't quote me on that. Look it up. But I'm constantly reading articles, and I feel like I read something about that, that all the crew people. So in my imagination, I'm seeing crew people out there sleeping in their cars, maybe partying a little bit after the set, maybe doing some target practice, and you know what I mean. And it's like, that's that's scary, and we know the result of what could happen from something like that, you know, and it's terrible. And
It's-
like, and again, that might not be the thing. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't have all the details, but from the details that I'm seeing that look like I'm putting two to two together, and I'm making my own imagination guess at what happened. And it's sad. Regardless, it's sad. But I mean, it's like it was totally avoidable and complete negligence, and that sucks. It's fucking terrible.
It really sucks, man. It
Yeah.
really sucks because, like, yeah, this is one that really choked me up when I fucking read about it.
Yeah.
And everybody, like, jumped on it, like, see, fucking blah, 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 blah. And it was just, I don't know if it's because it's a period piece and they fucking, maybe they thought it might as well be muskets or something. But the shit is, like, so serious, man. It's like,
yeah.
it would be like swinging a fucking legit samurai sword at somebody. You know what I mean? Like at somebody's fucking throat, you know?
And that's what I mean. They don't do that. There's, you know,
Yep.
there's prop swords, there's prop knives and everything. It's just got to be prop guns, in my opinion. Like you got to make it dummy proof.
Yeah. 'cause
Somebody's going to screw up. Somebody's going to make a bad decision. And this is, we all know this is not like commonplace. This doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
Thank God. But like one is enough. Like you just put a dummy gun in there. Like, yo, real gun guys are going to notice, but then they got something to talk about at work the next day. Did you see the fake gun? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, in that movie. Like, there you go. You got
Yeah.
something to talk about. Like, it's all right. Like, we don't need that much realism. Just like, let's move forward, you know. Don't make it look like a laser gun or something, I guess. But like, we can make this happen. This is 2022. It's not something that we should even be worried about anymore.
I think they should make some like obvious fake replacements that you can make them that shoot real.
Yeah, I think it
real
should
blanks.
become a
That's
cottage industry. It's a specific worldwide, you know, like with all the fucking actors unions and FX unions and shit, where they say, okay, so and so, you know, has a starter pistol thing. Those starter pistols that they use, the fucking starter blanks do not fit in a real gun, and real gun bullets do not fit in starter pistols. That is something they did from the jump with starter pistols.
Right. And starters don't sound the same, but that's
Right.
the last thing we need to be worrying about. Like, like we could fix the sound for sure. You know, you can fix that
for
easily.
real. Yeah. I still say in a fucking like show like fucking John Wick, where it's like all adults and like the people that train them are like the people that do firearms training. There's ways to do it. But yeah,
For sure. You're right. You're right.
I just don't think it was. I think it was a period piece, and it was a rehearsal, and somebody's safety protocol got, you know. It'd be like if Tom Cruise jumped out of Mission Impossible fucking plane and was like tried to pull the
and
fucking
his back, his fucking
didn't have a real chute on.
It didn't work.
Fuck!
Oh yeah, we were practice jumping before the set, and I guess we didn't load it back. We didn't pack it back up right. Like, dude,
we were doing tandem jumps out.
I texted you earlier today. You know, I mean, dude, when I saw that I was like, what? They found a fanny pack with fucking live rounds and fake and blanks in the same fanny pack, and then people were fucking practice shooting.
I had a debilitating ice cream headache when I fucking read that text from you.
Fucking awful.
Yeah.
So the
it
main
took the
problem
mystery.
Here is fanny packs.
It made my imagination to go, oh, it took the crow mystery out of it to where I'm this was just plain fucking stupid is all it was. Plain stupid. All right. Whew. Wow. Let's see what other
did we lose James?
Terrible news. I think we lost. Yeah.
Was he like
he was in and then he bounced.
Fuck this American gun guy. I'm out.
Let's see here. Dude, your fucking show got canceled.
Oh, God.
Why the Last Man? Anybody out there watching Why the Last Man?
This was a tragedy, Curtis. I think we talked about this. It is so extremely well written. There, spoiler alert, 2 people that are still watching us. there's this character that was like the villain that turns out to be kind of fake and phony. And one of the women that was kind of about to get kicked out of that person's group used to write speeches and be like the chief of staff for the president that dies, because all men die like one day. That's like the whole premise of the show. She figures out that this bitch is like not real, and she goes, you know, your idea is great, but your messaging is a little off. And she's like, what do you mean? She's like, found your badge, Tammy. She was like the fucking middle management at the fucking Costco that they're all like camped in, and she pretended to be like a detective and shit. And she's like basically teaches her how to better be a fucking Amazonian Avenger, which is, they call themselves the Amazon. It's Amazons. It's from the comic, but it's, the characters are fucking great, dude. And did you see?
I didn't see the newest episode because it wouldn't load.
Dude, you gotta watch it.
I woke up and it said that there was some people were protesting to pull that show off the air because of they didn't like the Body of Christ thing where the monkey ate the wafer.
God.
They thought it was sacrilegious, and there was
that's what they decided was sacrilegious about that fucking show.
Yeah, because she's like, here you go, Body of Christ, and the monkey eats the thing. They're in a post-apocalyptic situation. There's no food. They're like scavenging for food everywhere.
Yeah,
and they spent the night in a church, and they found a big jar of wafers so that
communion wafers.
So she fed the communion wafer to the monkey. But yeah, so there was a big
oh my God.
big Catholic uproar from that.
That's what they.
So I go to watch the show, but the new episode, and it won't fucking load. And I'm like, dude, did they cancel it? Did they pull it? No way. And I tried to watch it several times, and then I got mad. I was like, dude, I'm canceling Hulu. If they already didn't renew this show, and if they're not going to let me finish watching this show because somebody protested, I'm done with Hulu. And then
but you can choose to watch it. It's not on TV. You can pick to watch it.
I chose to watch it, and it wouldn't let me. And then I went to work, and then I got home from work, and I tried to watch it again, and it still wouldn't work. And I'm like, what is going on,
dude?
It won't let me watch it.
This like. I mean, it's okay.
No spoilers. I'm gonna watch the show.
There's a scene where somebody shoots another person like in the head, and then they throw up immediately. It's fucking like very well written. Like it's very like it's during this chaos, and it's like, and you could tell that person's never. It's realistic because how many people shoot other people all the time?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was obvious like there were we're going to overthrow. And then when the fucking shit really goes down, they're like, I told you to shut up, and fucking shoots them. And then they like see it and they go like that. And you're like, oh my God, that's totally like, that would, the human mind is not set up for that. You know what I mean? We're maybe a couple meals removed from total anarchy and savagery. But like when I saw that, I'm like, whoever is in the fucking writing room, I really hope that even though the show's canceled, that this job got them the next badass job because the characters are very well written. The scenes are fucking great.
I've thought about this when watching stuff like Gladiator and where he like comes home to his family and they're all killed and stuff. And it got me thinking about those times and how we're here. And it's like, and I don't discount. I'm not trying to minimize any kind of emotional trauma,
diminish anybody's
thing, any kind of post-traumatic stress disorder, anything like. I'm not trying to minimize any of that because I wasn't in the military. I never had to face anything. I didn't grow up in a bad neighborhood. I've been very fortunate. I've been in a couple of fist fights as a kid, and that's about it. But the idea of like, you've had all of the, I've seen so many war movies and things where people are, shooting from far away, and then sometimes they get up close and personal. But when it took it to a time like Gladiator, that's more like Braveheart and like Gladiator. It's face to face, fist to fist, Rock. in the hand to like it. That's personal. That's some like serious stuff. And like,
I mean, there's a 50-50
n-
chance you were gonna die back then.
yeah, well, I'm just saying, not to minimize that. Like you're saying, this
Yeah.
person shoots somebody. We're not wired for that. But I was thinking about how, like, dude, how many people have had to like just beat somebody with a stick or a rock at close range because some people like wandered onto their land and tried to loot them or whatever. You
Take
know what I
their
mean?
bread.
Yeah, and
Literally.
and I'm talking about 2,000 years ago, like Spartans and Romans and Greeks and things like that, and anywhere I guess. Native Americans here in the United States, tribes invading other tribes. There's all kinds of things, but it's amazing. I was like, I wonder. I mean, I would suppose that everyone had some form of a PTSD. Like it must have been like. Like we're all spoiled. We go to the drive-through. We got plenty of food. We don't have to fight a bear. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to fight other people, neighbors, invaders, whatever it is. Vikings that just washed up on our shores with that are giant men that are going to beat the hell out of us. Like any of those things that like we go to work and we get.
If you saw longboats back then,
yeah,
you were
dude. And I'm like, I'm mad because you parked too close to my car. You're mad at your neighbor in the apartment complex who dinged your door or something. But like people used to just murder people left and right. And
or it might have been normalized. It might have been like Hagar over there is like some internet troll. I'm gonna go bash his brain in.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy to imagine that like the reality, our reality, and the reality of people back then is a lot different. And I wonder the people that see some trauma and have to go through the terrible things like war and things like that, they experience a taste of that. But I wonder how brutal it was for everybody, or was it just as sheltered? Did the you know what I mean? Did the warriors go take care of that and leave their families safe at home and
centurions seize them?
I don't know. It's great. That's my daydreaming. I'm having diarrhea of the mouth over my daydreams, but
That's a good thought,
but it's
man.
interesting to think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
for sure,
dude, I haven't had to fight off any animals or people or invaders.
There's actually
the worst thing that happens to me is the Taco Bell drive-thru's closed, or I can't get a milkshake
they're
at
out
McDonald's.
of lettuce because of the supply chain.
Yeah.
How dare you? But there's actually in the original Conan novels, there's this quote that is a savage is often more polite than a gentleman, because a savage knows he could have his head cleaved open.
Oh yeah, I guess there's that.
There's like, I'm paraphrasing. He said it more eloquently, but that was the gist of it. Is like a savage is more genteel or polite than a quote unquote gentleman, because a savage knows you could have your head cleaved open.
Yeah, gentlemen, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, how dare you? with the fucking glove to the face.
What do you think, Curtis? You're being quiet over there.
Yeah, so Curtis like, I'm a fucking savage. I'm probably gonna cleave your head open after this.
No, I agree with a lot of that stuff. At the same time, too, like when you think about not even when you were speaking, I was thinking of obviously I do the ancestry and genealogy stuff. People back then had tons and tons of kids. Part of it was because they didn't have birth control. Let's be honest, like that was part of it. But at the same time, it was free labor, and like a lot of kids just died at early ages. Like it was just like just part of life. You can see it in the records. Like, oh well, she had 11 kids, but only 6 of them survived. Depending on what was going on, whether it was just virus or overwork or whatever happened, but like kids just died a lot back then. And so it wasn't like, they were trying to spread their seed. I'm sure that was part of it to some degree, but like it was just a numbers ratio. Like we've got to continue on the family, and well, 3 of them already died, so let's have more, as many
like
as we can.
Turtles hatching on the beach.
Yeah,
half of them
like that's
snatched up by seagulls.
Your purpose as an entity is to reproduce and continue your line. Like that's the evolutionary directive. And like that was the main thing. It was like you'd have all these huge families, and now it's like, well, we only have 2 or 3 kids nowadays. But we, to some degree, have a strong feeling that those 2 or 3 kids are going to survive and thrive in the society that we have. And so it's not even we're even just killing each other left and right. That was definitely part of it too. But like just regular life could take its toll. And so they'd have all these kids.
Yeah.
And the ones that survived had more kids and had more kids and had more kids. And it's just, yeah, it's really interesting, like how you don't even think about that now. Like, whenever I'm having kids, like we're debating if we're gonna have a third one or not, or we're not even debating anymore, but we're gonna try and have a third one. But like I come from a family of 6, so it's like cut in half. And then my great grandmother had 14 kids, or no, she was pregnant 14 times, had 11 kids. Like it was like, and that's not that long ago. I knew her, like I grew up with her,
Right.
and like that's just part of life. And part of it was just it's free labor. Like your kids get old enough, they work, and that's what they do. But at the same time too, like you're just playing the numbers game. Like if something bad happens, we're gonna have at least 5 of them left or something like that.
Even the trauma of that's a trauma. Like
yeah,
you have imagine
that's my
having
point,
losing 4 children.
I
Most
can't
people
imagine
that would
losing
destroy
one.
one. Yeah, one. You know what I mean? Like, but that's crazy.
There's no fucking way I could.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And to come to terms with it and know that like some of these kids are gonna die. Like
That's like I heard this guy was like that was talking, and he was like, I heard him. I was off doing something else, and I heard him talking to somebody else. He was like, "I couldn't do it, man. I just could not bring a kid into this world, in this day and age." And I was like, "Whoa!" And I stopped, and I go, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "This day and age, I just couldn't do it." And I go, "Are you kidding, dude?" I was like, "We've got like more food than we've ever had.
It's the
We are
safest
safer
time in the history of the world.
safest time." I was like, people have like manners, and people like we're not being invaded by wild animals or we don't live in a tribe that gets invaded by settlers, or be settlers that are getting invaded by savages, or we're not dying of crazy diseases and like
The consumption, Papa.
yeah, I was like, dude, the bubonic plague. I'm like, this is before COVID, but like I was like, I have a close family member who had hepatitis, who's cured. I was like, if that had happened 50 years ago, that wouldn't be the case. I was like, just Amazon Prime alone is a good reason to be alive in this day and age. And you're telling me I was like, dude, you need to get over your shit. Like whatever's going on, you need to get your Kleenex, because this is a great time to be alive.
I think it was a situation where no one wanted to touch his dick anyway.
It's probably so,
And
but it blew me away. Yeah. I was just like, dude, this is a great time to be alive. Like, if people are upset about the past and the old ways, you should be looking forward to the future. Like, this is an opportunity. If we're going to change the world, it's happening, and it's happening in baby steps. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it takes.
And well, no, but at the same time, like that's the thing. You do worry about that. Like you think about that stuff. Like, and it is not as bad as it used to be. But people worry about because the main thing is like, well, I'm here. I'm going to fight to my dying breath to make sure my kids are going to have a good life. But you worry like, what happens if I die and they have to live in this world? That's the worry. That's the fear. But you've got to understand, like, people that are thinking that thought, I'm not bringing a kid in this world. Like, here's the deal. This world needs fucking good people. If you're a fucking good person, just shit out some babies. Like, let's get it done. We need more good people, and you raise them. Like, raise them right. Raise them the way you know. And, like, the world's it's just naturally going to get better. We've got all these shitty people having babies, and they don't give it the second thought about it. I'm a teacher. I know. Like, people just have babies because it's fucking something to do on a Saturday night, and they just make some babies and then they don't take care of them. Like, we need good people to have babies and to take care of these babies and raise these babies and make a good world. Like, that's what we need. And so don't worry about it. There's a bunch of good people out there that need to have some good kids and take care of them, and the world will get right. I promise.
Yeah, we got to breed them out.
That's right.
We have to
That is why the Dune worms are my favorite worms.
We have to out-coitus these bad people.
Yeah.
Yes, it's idiocracy in reverse.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
We're going to bang it out.
Guys, we're at 3 hours and 49 minutes and 10 seconds. Dustin's looking at his watch because it's time for him to go. And
speaking of babies, mine's probably going to wake me up. Mine's probably going to be put into my side of the bed at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, get him, Sue.
Yeah.
That's right. So we're going to do this real fast.
Hello. I hear nothing.
You hear nothing. How about this?
No, I do.
You hear the countdown clock? Yeah. I had you we had you muted while we were showing that thing. But yeah, guys, we're gonna be back every Tuesday. So y'all keep coming and hanging out. I want to thank Bobby, our #1 Patreon.
Bobby, you're the best.
Yeah, and Spooky Bats and everybody else who's in the chat. And we'll see you guys soon. What is on the schedule for next week? Do you remember off the top of your head? If not, I'll just post an announcement.
Next week's is the 2nd?
Yes, next week. No,
guest?
next week we have, it's Day of the Dead. So we've got Army of the Dead versus Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead versus Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead versus his new movie Army of Thieves. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The sequel or the prequel to Army of the Dead.
Is that out yet, or is it coming out?
It comes out the 29th, this Friday.
Sweet.
On Netflix.
Hot damn.
So we can talk about that and maybe some Marvel Zombies.
I loved that.
And actually, that is my sister's birthday, and she would like to come on and talk about Stephen King stuff.
Cool.
Ooh, yeah, man. Hey, speaking of worms, we'll keep this. We'll keep this for Scar, but. Lacey's story is being made into a movie. It may be even being shot now, but in Lacey's story, there's this crazy, really long, there's this, spoiler alert, there's a dream world that this writer can go to. And he teaches.
Well, we all drink from.
Sort of teaches his wife how to go to, and that's how she, and there's this crazy worm that's like a giant worm that kind of rules and predates in that world or whatever.
Cool.
But it's going to be kind of like, I hope they make it epic, like a fucking, at least like a Tremors worm, if not like a big ass Dune worm.
Hell yeah, big ass Dune worm. I'm in for that.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's like a little known, it's like not as popular as some of his other books.
It's very good.
But it's a very well written book. And it's got
What's it called again?
Lacey's story or Lizzie's story, maybe? I thought it was Lacey, but
I think it was. I always thought it was Lacey, but
Lacey, maybe it's Lacey.
L-I-S. No, I'm not saying I'm right. That's how I interpreted it.
It's a nickname.
Lacey is a nickname for Lizette.
That must be that then.
Yeah.
He dies leaving an unpublished tome, and people are trying to get at it, and the wife is trying to protect it. There's one crazy fan.
It's very good. Very good.
It's a real crazy thriller with also some supernatural kind of otherworldly shit mixed in, which is really cool.
And another fun movie that I saw yesterday, it's a Netflix original film. It's called Night Teeth. And
dude, I've been wanting to check that out.
Speaking of Army of the Dead, my old biology partner in high school, my old buddy who's playing bands with me, I used to play in a band with his brother, Raul Castillo, is in Night Teeth. He's one of the main characters in Night Teeth.
Cool,
and
man.
it's a fun movie where this kid ends up filling in for his older brother driving a limo, and the two rich girls that he's got to take them to a bunch of parties all over L.A. are actually vampires, and it's a crazy. And there's a whole.
It's like Lyft for vampires.
Yeah, but they're like, hey, he's got to take them all. They're like, he's theirs for the night, and they got to be back by sunrise. And there's a whole bunch of there's a whole vampire criminal underground backstory. It's more than just two girls partying.
He
you know
kind
what I mean?
of almost becomes like their Renfield.
You
Like
gotta
Dracula
watch it. You
kinda
gotta
thing,
watch it and see. It's complicated, but Raul is my buddy. Raul that I grew up with is in it, and so I was like, I wonder if this Night Teeth is good. And then it starts playing the auto trailer, and I saw Raul. I was like, I'm watching this. So
cool.
so it's good. So yeah. So check that out if you're looking for a fun vampire movie, and we're going to see you guys next week. So thanks again. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next Tuesday on Versus.